Yo, what's up, guys? Am I late? I'm not late, right? Okay, wait. Hold up. We're gonna quickly speed through our intro, all right? Today, we have a very special introduction, okay? Nothing, you guys won't be able to see anything. You guys are only gonna be able to listen to it. Like 2 minutes late, you're slightly late. I'm not late. What are you guys talking? Oh, look, the only reason I'm late is because we're doing our intro. The latest man around. All right, hold on, look, check it out. You guys are gonna forgive me for why I'm late. Before I play our intro, I'm not even gonna say anything. This is gonna be our intro today. I'm gonna lower the volume already a little bit. All right, check it out. You guys ready? No hate. All right, ready? I want 0 hate in the comments, okay? 0 hate in chat. Cool? Mrs., can you see the chat? Oh, wait. Let me rewind it. Hold up. I'm gonna play our intro right now. Should I pause the music, guys, or nah? I'll pause the music. All right. This is gonna be our intro. Lag? Uh-oh. Hopefully we're not lagging. Okay, here we go. Intro time. Here we go. Intro.
Okay, so today's reading is chapter.
This is our intro.
Oh, no, you got talking to mic.
I am talking in the mic.
No, but you gotta like hold the mic.
Why? My hair's all messed up. I gotta go.
No.
How do you... Chapter 1029. Ruins number 1.
Okay. And then...
No, Cohen's Kilgore.
No, wait. No, don't read the honorific.
Why? The reader who
know, she's
stalls
not
for
loud. I was telling her to be
eternity,
louder.
the king of beast and dogs, the one who farms, Lord of the mysteries.
Oh, you remember the... And you can say the abbreviated LOTM.
No, Quonas Kilgore stood on the spot, has a strong feeling of
we should
despair
repeat
emerged in his heart. As a military demigod who had experienced many dangers, he had a clear understanding of his current situation.
A little bit louder.
Why?
There's like 20 seconds left.
No, my voice is fine.
You gotta speak like this.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
Conas Kilgore stood on the spot.
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, that's so loud.
Yeah, you gotta be like that.
Ready? No, Conas Kilgore stood on the spot as a strong feeling of despair emerged in his heart. No,
That's the chapter. There's a little peek.
No, you gotta be loud. Babe, that's like
okay,
half.
I'll
All right, you know
loud.
what? That's good. Oh, then like we hit start recording with your screen.
You have to be doing.
Gotta push it.
And then she's doing a peace out sign, but I don't want to show that yet. I only had permission for audio. Yeah, how you guys rate her intro? Be honest. She's looking at chat right now. Be honest. Was that a good intro or a bad intro? I wasn't recording our intro at all, so I'm gonna have to go back and screen record all that. So I'm actually gonna start recording now. I actually didn't record our intro, but we're gonna go back and we're gonna have to go back, screen it. Wow, we're gonna have to edit. Better than you? Easy streaming career is over. It's now the Mrs. Easy era. Bro, you guys backstabbed me so quickly. Peak intro. Better than you? You guys, good thing I forgot to hit record. Babe, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go, man. Now they're getting me mad. All right, I love you, babe. Have a good day. Have fun today. That's so funny. I actually forgot I hit record on the intro. So I'm gonna have to go back screen record, and I'm actually gonna have to like edit it in. That's actually kind of funny. I hit my shin. But yeah, that was the intro. We know who is the boss of the relationship. No, you know what's funny? I did forget to hit record, but it's okay. It's okay. That was our awesome new intro. It's okay. We're gonna go back. I just realized I messed up the title for the stream. Let me quickly fix this. Give me a sec. Let me edit the stream title. Give me a sec. I actually forgot to edit the stream title. For some reason, I left the full stream thing titled rather than like, oh, we're reading Lord of Mysteries, you know? Hold up. Let me quickly fix this and we'll go straight into it. Pinky promise. Just raise the volume a bit. Let me just edit the title. Live. More Lord of the Mystery. Oh my god, I can spell mysteries. Mysteries. Yeah, how's your guys' day going, by the way? Good? 1,000. We're on chapter 1029. Need to rope in Miss Geeky collab. Read together. Dude, I think I can convince her. 30 plus. Let me just do the thing right here. Yo, what's up, yo? What's up? What's up, yo? What did I just say? What's up, yo? What's up, Milaj? What's up, dude? 1030 through 10,000. I'm just editing my title because I realized I just put the full stream thing. Live more Lord of the Mysteries. The Demigod Bites. Continue. Yo, Milosh, you missed her new intro. You missed the Mrs. intro. But I am gonna have to go back, record it, and then put it into the video. Love is an peak artist is not missed. You know what? Let me just play it again. That way I don't have to go back and screen record it. Miss Geeky has been mentioned. Yeah, Miss Geeky has been mentioned. I'm actually just gonna play the thing again so I don't have to go back and record it. So let me quickly do this. Let me just play the intro. Let me play the Mrs. intro. And then we'll continue. Let me just quickly play it. Alright, hold up. Alright, I'm actually just gonna play it again because we forgot to record, but it's okay. Alright, this is the Mrs. intro.
Okay, so today's reading is chapter...
Well, no, you got talking to mic.
I am talking in the mic.
No, but you gotta like hold the mic.
Why? My hair's all messed up. I gotta go.
No.
How do you...
a
Chapter
1 minute intro.
1029.
She stalled longer than me, by the way.
Ruins, number 1.
Okay.
No, Cohen's Kilgore.
No, wait. No, don't read the honorific.
Why? The reader who stalls for eternity, the tamer of beasts and dogs, the one who farms, Lord of the mysteries.
Ooh, you remember the... And you can say the abbreviated LOTM.
No, Quonas Kilgore stood on the spot, has a strong feeling of despair emerged in his heart. As a military demigod who had experienced many dangers, he had a clear understanding of his current situation. Why?
Your voice is too low.
No, my voice is fine.
You gotta speak like this.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
Conus Kilgore stood
15
on the
seconds
spot
left.
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, that's so loud.
Yeah, you gotta be like that. You gotta be like that.
Ready? No, Conas Kilgore stood on the spot as a strong feeling of despair emerged in his heart. No, I feel too loud.
That's pretty good. No, you gotta be loud.
I
Babe,
said
that's like
okay, I
half.
feel too
Alright, you know
loud.
what? That's good. Oh, then like we hit start recording with your stream deck.
Did you guys never believe me?
Got push it?
And then she's doing a peace sign at the end. I didn't show it yet. You guys thought she was just the voices in my head or something? Yes, she is a real woman, okay? I have not been pretending to have a girlfriend this entire time. How dare you guys? But yes, the easy universe is expanding. With that being said, I was trying to get her to speak into the mic. But she was like speaking like this, so far away. And I'm like, babe, you gotta hold the mic like this. But for now, Lord of the Mysteries, chapter 1029. The goal is to read 8 to 10 chapters. And since today is National Dog Day, I do want to go get Ellie like a little doggy treat or something. Eat out. Just with her. Speaking like this. Yeah, that's exactly how she's speaking. She's speaking in lowercase. But for now, 1029. If you like what you're going to see, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will... Why was I doing an outro? Let's just get into the reading. What's up? Have you convinced her to read LOTM? Yep. I'm actually just going to make her read the physical books. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me pause the recording. But yes, Milosh, I think I've made her watch episode 1, but because episode 1 was a little fast-paced, what I might try and convince her to do when she has more free time, like just read the book. Since I have it here, I'm gonna try and make her read both Lord of the Mysteries, I'm sorry, and Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. I'm gonna try and make her read both. Would not have happened if you had the gooseneck. Dude, if I had the gooseneck, that would not have... Yes, thank you. You know what, D? I gotta look into a right gooseneck. Because if I had that gooseneck, we would not have goofed our intro that much. She would have sounded a lot clearer. She was speaking like this, and she's like, I am speaking into the mic. It's like, no, you're not. You gotta speak like this. But here, let's do our intro. Intro's done, timestamp, and we go straight into reading. Zero stalling today. Pinky promise. We got some shit to read, man. Somebody said some crazy shit happens in 20 chapters. ROV, hell yeah. I know. Don't worry. You know what I am going to do? When I finish reading my 2 chapters, off stream, I'm going to read 1 LSC chapter, upload that, and then after, I'm going to read Omniscient Viewpoint. But I'm going to do it off stream if it's cool with you, Milosh. That way, while I'm doing it off stream, I can upload my old reacts on the cloud and then make space on PC, because I didn't do that yesterday. But let's keep reading. Chapter 1029 is called Ruins Number 1. No, Conus Kilger stood on the spot as a strong feeling of despair emerged in his heart. As a military demigod who had experienced many dangers, he had a clear understanding of his current situation. He could already hear the footsteps of death approaching him. He wanted to struggle and risked it to be revealing in a mythical creature form, but his orders didn't do a thing with his sluggish mind. His body has been parasitized and was no longer under his control, and then that's when he turns him into a marionette. That's crazy. The most I've ever loved my country. I found a drawing of fours of my country. Oh. Send it. I'll take a look at it. His body has been parasitized and was no longer under his control. Yeah, send it, Milosh. We'll take a look at it. At that moment, Conus Kilger wasn't even capable of shedding a tear. Under a gigantic crimson moon's illumination, 1 second after another passed, suddenly Conus Kilger raised his left hand and touched his crew haircut. He had already become Klein's marionette. In fact, he still had a chance at the final moment at the parasite effect. Didn't last long enough for him to become a marionette. He had those 2 or 3 seconds to reveal his mythical creature form. But the problem was that he can still do it even as a parasite, but the problem was that his body had already the effects of misdirection and deceit. As time passed, his thoughts turned more and more sluggish and wasn't able to grasp the short opportunity. Klein looked at his new marionette and exhaled silently. He's already under his control. He looked up at the clear and bright red moon as he said, "It's done." Amidst the gigantic crimson moon, a black dot instantly appeared and descended from the sky. It was none other than the Church of Evernight Archbishop, Servant of Concealment, Ariana, who wore a simple robe with a tree bark as a belt. In the concealed world, this aesthetic didn't use any beyond her powers to float in midair. She cast her eyes at the Earl of the Fallen beneath. She gently raised her right hand as Conus Kilger's slightly blurry soul emerged from his military demigod head. Klein lost his control over his marionette as a result of this. He wasn't too surprised by this because he hadn't sent a worm of the spirit through the spirit body threads over. His control over the marionette was essentially still at sequence 5 state and not at the demigod level. Where did that go just now? Ariana asked calmly as she looked at Conus Kilger's soul. Conus Kilger's expression twisted slightly before replying, "Ruins Number 1. Oh, title drop. Is this a contractual promise of the psychological cue? Klein, who watched the spiritual channel from the side, sensed something from Earl of the Fallen reaction. However, this didn't affect anything because they were in a concealed world, one which no one knew or of could sense. Where is that ruin? Who did it once belong to? What is it being used for? As an archbishop of the Evernight goddess and an angel of the corresponding pathway, Ariana shared a certain amount of authority in concealment. Therefore, she didn't start with the simplest questions, but went straight to the point. She wasn't afraid of any accidents. Conus Kilger's soul trembled slightly as he executed a feeling as if he had automatically blown up, but ultimately nothing happened. He hesitantly replied, "The ruin is located deep underground at the Stirleen segment of the Tussock River. It has a setup that interferes with the powers of divination and prophecy. Stirleen segment. This is quite far from the mountain where Mr. A was at the end where you disappeared from. From the looks of it, you were very cautious. The point-to-point teleport effects are greater than I expected." Klein quickly conjured a picture of the terrain of Backland's northwestern outskirts. Conus Kilger continued replying, "That ruin used to belong to Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor. I'm not sure what it currently used for. I'm unable to enter the depths of the ruins, and then I'm only in charge of sending people in the materials to acquire the various means." The name Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor. Now the music is way too loud. Give me a sec. I'm seeing that. The plot slowly thickens. I know, man. The most I've ever loved. Oh, no, I read that earlier, right? I got you, Milash. The name Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor made Ariana fall silent. Oh, wait a sec. Let me lower volume. Hold up. I think we need to lock in, right? I mean, we're always locked in, but hold up. Conus Kilger continued replying. "That ruin used to belong to the Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor." Oh my god, so it did belong to her. I mean him, sorry. Elisa, it's a man's name, I know. The Blood Emperor was a man. Elisa Tudor, I'm not sure what it's currently used for. I'm unable to enter the depths of the ruins, and I'm only in charge of sending in people and materials acquired via various means. The name Blood Emperor Elisa Tudor made Ariana fall silent. About 3 seconds later, she asked, "What materials did you acquire?" This time, Conus Kilger didn't put much of a resistance. He listed them down, including a large amount of mercury, iron, ore, and ritual materials of different domains. Klein was unable to obtain any effect information from this because it was too well-rounded. It was possible to do anything. That really are very careful, using large amounts of sundries to hide what they're truly searching for. Even a demigod in charge of these matters isn't aware of the reason. This is very in line with the way a spectator pathway beyonder works. It was designed by the psychology alchemist. Klein nodded indiscriminately with a guess in his mind. Ariana didn't seem to notice anything as she asked, "Do you have any guesses on what they're doing? If so, what?" "Yes, I suspect that they're digging up something and attempting to make sacrifices. Maybe they're trying to resurrect something." Konus Kilger's voiced out his judgment. Ariana suddenly looked down at him for a while and said, "Who got you involved in the underground ruins? Who are the people who can enter the depths of the ruins?" Konus Kilger is raising the volume up on stream. Konus Kilger struggled once again, but there were no anomalies. He said hesitantly, "I received His Majesty's orders. I am able to become a demigod because he provided me with the formulas, ingredients, and the opportunities. He even bestowed me with the Concerto of Light and Shadow." Oh, he's the one that gave him the fucking Concerto of Light and Shadow, allowing me to act as a Sequence 5 Beyonder, even in situations where I can't hide my strength. Apart from His Majesty entering the depths of the ruins. Oh, so he's been there. His Majesty. Oh, she's hype, dude. Apart from His Majesty entering the depths of the ruins, only 2 other demigods of the royal family can enter. Only 2 other from the royal family. One of them is Prince Grove, and the other is Duchess Georgina. Duchess is a woman, right? The Duchess? Oh, I just realized what that meant, username. Does that mean tea time? What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean, tea? So we have Prince Grove, and the other is the Duchess Georgina. They both, yes, got it. They both have Augustus as their last name. Oh, shit. So it is still part of the Augustus family, like the main Augustus family. But the royal family doesn't only have 2 demigods. Miss Justice doesn't know much of these 2 and mentioned they seldom participate in social events. Oh, I'm just pouring tea. But the royal family doesn't only have 2 demigods. Miss Justice doesn't know much of these 2 and mentioned that they seldom participate in social events. Even their seats at the House of Lords, members of parliaments, are given to their children. Yes, at the demigod level, even if they lack the beyond characteristics of not dying and not aging, it wouldn't be a problem living far more than 100 years. It's really not suitable for them to hold official posts and repeatedly appear in public. Klein tried hard to recall, but he failed to gather anything else. Ariana was silent for a few seconds before suddenly asking, "Have you met Corins in the underground?" This is tea time. This is tea time, bet. Have you met Cornus in the Cornus? I don't think we've ever heard this name before. Have you met Cornus in the underground ruins? Who is he? Konus Kilger asking confusion. Ariana didn't answer and continued asking, "Beside them, who else have you met in the underground ruins?" Konus Kilger maintained a sluggish state, which was characteristic of the spirit channeling people from the demonist sect and the psychology alchemists. The former was originally represented by the spirit Nightingale, Panatia, but was changed to Saintess of the White Katerina. The latter is Hyven Rambus. Did they enter the depths of the underground ruins? Ariana asked meticulously. I don't know. I wasn't following them at all. Konus Kilger shook his head. At least when I met them, they were all in the periphery. Ariana asked other questions in an attempt to draw out the general outline of the matter via other angles. However, it was obvious that George III's arrangements were flawless. Even a demigod like Konus Kilger only knew about the mission that he was responsible for and could only move about in designated regions. He was unable to learn more. After some thought, Ariana flipped up her right hand and gently pressed down, pushing Konus Kilger's soul back into his body. Klein controlled over his marionette restored. This made Klein sigh inwardly. The authoritative concealment is really impressive. Even if Ma'am Ariana were to question my marionette one day, I wouldn't even know what. At this point, Ariana turned her body and spoke to German Sparrow on the balcony, a problem which George III has basically been confirmed. What's the problem? As well as where the underground ruins are, I will immediately meet with the archbishops of the Church of the Storms and the Church of Steam, convincing them to take action tonight and opening the ruins. Wait. So we're going to have like a three team going into the ruins? Before I inform you, control Konus Kilger and pretend that everything is fine before making him vanish. Are you worried that the enemy will notice the problem with Konus Kilger while negotiating with the Church of Storm and the Church of Steam, making it so that they can seal off the underground ruins or activate other emergency plans? Klein had a general understanding of the matter and nodded. No problem. Ariana, who didn't have adorned hair, didn't speak further. With a casual wave of her hand, the iron-skinned pocket watch flew over. This sealed artifact was bestowed by George III. Perhaps we might be able to find some clues from its origins. Does that mean you're taking it away? Klein replied without any objection. I'll leave it to you. He really didn't have any compliments about that, as he believed that it was only right. After all, half of the battle sources was due to Ariana's contribution with the concealed world and blessings him with misfortune. True. In the event that she didn't take the concerto of light and shadow, Klein would mention it. When it came to matters like this, he was always just. And the Concerto of Light and Shadow was the spoils of war that he didn't want the most. This was because it was a complete odds with the combat style at a bizarre sorcerer. The random anomalies would affect him, and the weakened effect was something worse than the enemy. If Klein's spoils of war from this matter was the pocket watch, then he had considered tricking, promoting it to the Snake of Fate, Will Ossipton. Only a life school of thought demigod who relied on luck to survive could commandeer, not commander. could commandeer the Concerto of Light and Shadow, and when that happens with such a large secret organization and a sequence one, they definitely have powerful sealed artifacts that could be used to trade for it. Upon receiving his reply, Ariana gently nodded, and she then threw the iron skin pocket watch back to Conus Kilgore, making the Earl of the Fallen look no different from before. Her figure vanished as though it had been erased by an eraser. Even the pitch black world... Shit, that's so cool, dude. Her figure vanished as though it had been erased by an eraser. Even a pitch-black world with a gigantic crimson moon hanging in the sky, the steeple and the chimneys were quickly wiped. Even the chimneys were wiped away. In the blink of an eye, everything returned to normal. Klein was inside the master bedroom, and Conus Kilgore was in the guest room tens of meters away. Clenching tightly in his hand was Rever's shout of despair. Then the Brigadier General of MI9 used Disorder to place the revolver back into the underground holster and pick up the Maynard wine he had previously poured out and took a sip. He's going back to drinking as if everything was a-okay, right, guys? Damn. All right, joint operations. What the fuck? So we're really gonna get a tag team. All right, awesome. One sec. My thumbnail, did I have the white numbers 111 or did I have the Lord of the Mysteries thing? I think I just had the 111. I think I had like the generic thing set, right? I should probably fix that. Everything is up in the hands of Monster. Where they go to just like that. White numbers. Oh, no music, by the way. Yeah, I realized the music is really low. I can like barely hear it. I'm so sorry. Let me fix that. Yeah, no, that was my fault. I realized it was really low. All right, so let me quickly fix this. Let me save this picture. I need to put the volume 5 thing on. Here, don't worry. I'll do this in 2 seconds. Cammy is just up. No, I know. Also had it really low on my end. Dude, also, did you guys hear Bottas and Sergio Perez signed for fucking Cadillac? F1 2026 is going to be crazy, dude. It's going to be fucking sick. All right, let me just put this. All right, we're good. It's been updated. Awesome. It should have the volume 5 thing right now. All right, next chapter. 1030. Give me a sec. Let me lock Lord of the Mysteries. That's that, right? Yeah, let me put this right here. Nope. It's the same. Oh, wow. Yeah, look, I made it perfectly fit. Yo, what's up, Philip? 1030. Chapter 1030 is called Joint Operations. Backlund Northborough St. Samuel Cathedral. The Cardinal of the Church of Storms, Archbishops of Backlund Diocese, Deep Blue official Randall Valentinus, descended amidst the wind, landing inside the steeple with a huge cloak to the left. He donned a black robe with a storm symbol and had thick facial hair. His hair was short and stood up, colored in dark blue that was almost black. This muscular demigod cast his gaze to the other side and said to the figure who was already waiting there, Hormick, do you know what happened? Why did Anthony suddenly invite us over here? The person he spoke to was dressed in a white priest robe and a clergyman bonnet. He had a genuine and mild expression, and he was none other than Church of Steam's Divine Council member. This is the highest rank we've seen so far from Church of Steam's Divine Council member, Archbishop of the Backlund Diocese, the demigod Hormick Hayden. We've seen Hormick before. Upon hearing Randall's question, Hormick calmly replied, I didn't arrive here much earlier than you. In fact, I only left the laboratory for a few minutes. He wasn't only a clergyman, but also a famous scientist. He was the second famous scientist right behind Roselle, right? Hormick? He was only a clergyman, but also a famous scientist. He was an emeritus professor of Backlund University Psychics Department. Randall Valentinus was just about to say something when he suddenly saw a figure walk up the narrow spiral staircase and would arrive at the peak in the darkness of the crimson moon wasn't able to illuminate. This figure was dressed in a black clergyman robe with red accents. By his chest hung 5 dark sacred emblems. He was clean-shaven and his eyes were deep, dark, and tranquil. He was none other than the one of the 13 archbishops of the Church of Evernight, Backlund Diocese, person in charge, Saint Anthony Stevenson. It's about to go down. Is there something that can't wait until daybreak, or do you people from the Church of the Evernight enjoy discussing matters at night? Deep Blue official Randall Valentis asked. Anthony came to stop and walked up the stairs of flight. I did my timestamps? Yes, I did. Anthony came to the stop after walking up the flight of stairs and said with a serious expression, "A very pressing matter. What is it?" Randall asked immediately. At this moment, Hormick Hayden also cast his gaze at Anthony Stevenson, awaiting his answer. In a similar situation, Hormick especially liked the existence of people from the Church of Storms. This meant that they would take the initiative to ask questions, and that there was no need to be euphemistic. It didn't require him to say anything else. Anthony looked at them separately and said, "It's related to royal family. I'll let Ma'am Ariana do the honors." Just as he said that, a barefoot, a bunny, Saint Anthony, we saw him too. I don't remember Saint Anthony. I don't remember Anthony. I remember Hormick, but I don't remember Anthony. Anthony looked at them separately and said, "It's related to the royal family. I'll let Ma'am Mariana do the honors." Just as he said that, a barefoot, bun-haired female figure in a simple robe with a tree bark for a belt quickly outlined itself out of the shadows. Upon seeing this figure, Randall and Hormick immediately bowed. "Good evening, Ma'am Mariana." Their expressions turned solemn at the same time, for they had a deep understanding of how important and crucial the matter was that was happening tonight was. It was definitely not a small matter for a grounded angel to appear. Oh, it was going to go down. Meanwhile, they couldn't help but be roused up. They replied that they had no idea when the matrion of the Evernight Cloister, the servant of concealment, Ma'am Ariana, had arrived in Backland. Under normal circumstances, the three churches, the royal families, and the military enjoyed a certain degree of tactic cooperation. Grounded angels and Grade Zero sealed artifacts wouldn't appear in Backland. "Good evening, archbishops." Ariana answered without any signs of haunting. She then raised her right hand and grasped onto the thin air. A faint line was emitted and transformed into a scene along with the darkness. It was the entire conversation between Ariana and Conus Kilger. This secret that appeared to have been kept for quite some time had finally presented itself before others. As they watched, Deep Blue official Randall Valentis couldn't help but say, he actually advanced the sequence 4 and became a demigod. This archbishop knew Conus Kilgore. He originally believed that the deputy director of MI9 was only a sequence 5 and had relied on sealed artifact with severe negative effects to obtain combat strength at the demigod level. He never expected it to be a disguise. The Church of the Storm's influence on the military was greater than the two major churches. Wait, the Church of Storm's influence on the military was greater than the two major churches. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. No one answered Randall. After the servant was fully revealed, Hormick said, "One involves the secret ruin of the Blood Emperor, and with large numbers of people sent in, these 2 points put together cannot be anything good." Indeed, Randall nodded in agreement. I like how it says indeed, as you guys said. Indeed. Indeed, Randall nodded in agreement. "Let's head to the ruins now." Ariana looked around and calmly said, "This involves the royal family and the king. It's best if you seek permission from your own holy see." Holy see? And this angel's choice of words, the Holy See, referred to their respective churches' headquarters, the core seat of power of the church. Oh shit, so like the main higher-ups. All right, the two archbishops replied without any hesitation. After a while, Deep Blue official Randall Valentis and Hormick Hayden received feedback from the sealed artifacts they carried. Together with Anthony Stevenson and Ariana, they headed for the Blood Emperor ruins in the Conus Kilder and previously entered. Ariana then took out the iron black coat of arms with complicated symbols, and she tried to activate it. She didn't make any disguise attempt it as she stood there calmly as though she wasn't worried that the guards' ruins would recognize her. Seeing this servant in concealment's actions, Hormick seemed to be in thought. Randall wore a look of calm and didn't believe that it posed any problems. In the underground ruins, on a strange metal pedestal, a ghostly blue beam soared up and formed the door. 4 black armored guards immediately observed the situation outside through the ghostly blue beam and planned on using a predetermined method to confirm the person who had summoned the door teleportation was disguised, so as to decide whether the door was to be opened. Oh, and then from there they would choose if they opened it or not, if it was a disguise. Who summoned the door of teleportation was disguised. Got it. However, they didn't see anything. The area outside was empty, so it's safe to open. Just as they felt intense unease and confusion, a figure quickly outlined itself behind them. It was none other than the leader of the Church of the Evernight Aesthetics, Ariana, who wore a patched robe. In the blink of an eye, the 4 guards fell into deep sleep. Oh shit, she put them to sleep? Anthony, Randall, and Hormick entered the underground ruins. Wait, what the fuck? We went in right away. Oh, because of the door. The door of teleportation. Duh. They went in like instantly because I thought it was going to take a few chapters to get to the fucking ruins. We just went straight in, dude. Okay. I'm sensing something hype is about to happen. In the blink of an eye, the 4 guards fell into deep sleep. Anthony, Randall, and Hormick entered the underground ruins one after another. They didn't directly follow the path down. Instead, they passed through the hall, floating in midair as they overlooked everything. This was a world ruled by darkness. Small amounts of light came from the strange moss growing in different spots, as well as the flaming torches that came from the human-sized buildings. With their illuminating light, even beyonders without night vision could grasp the overall appearance of the huge ruin. Damn, that's crazy, dude. On the one side was a gray rock wall extended upwards without the end, and it seemed to be connected to the ground. On the other side, there was a bottomless, dark valley, as if it were the abyss where devils lived. A road paved with stone slabs lay in the middle, connecting the halls and buildings together. From time to time, humans would come and go in silence. The archbishops of the three churches were just about to capture a few people who could enter the ruins to interrogate them about the situation inside when a figure flew out from the dark valley, heading straight for the demigods. So this is somebody else that was already in the ruins. The figure had a long face and wore a white hairnet. The two curly who is this? We've seen somebody with two curly mustaches. Grew above his lip, and he had thick brows. His eyes were slightly bigger and looked rather similar to certain poker card figures. Who is this? We've read this description before. He wore a gown and had a huge cloak over him. The tips of his shoes were extremely long, and his attire was unlike the current times. It was as though he lived 100 years ago. Archbishop like Anthony Hormick was no stranger to him. He knew that he was Prince of Sonia, it's Augustus. Grove Augustus, one of the demigods of the royal family. How did you enter? Grove asked first, his expression a little surprised and uncertain. Oh shit, another demigod fight? They looked at each other, and Anthony took the initiative to say, we've always been investigating the large number of mysterious disappearances, and we had locked onto MI9 Konus Kogor. Through him, we found this place. Grove's expression changed slightly as he looked at the woman whose left one's heart feeling tranquil. He deliberated and asked, Ma'am Ariana. Yes, I was in charge of the disappearance case. Ariana answered insistently. Prince Grove smiled bitterly. We were too greedy. After discovering this ruin, we only thought of digging and retrieving the items inside Cap. To keep it a secret, we even had certain connections with the demoness sect. Through the people they gathered, we built a passageway and held certain rituals. No, it's not what you think. They were just normal rituals, and they're still alive deep within the ruins. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, he's the other one, and the other one was the Duchess. So it's like we have the Prince Grove, and then we have the Duchess. Yeah. Cap. They're all still alive deep in the ruins. Fucking bullshit. If you don't believe me, I can lead you down and take a look. That sounds like a trap. That sounds like the biggest red flag I've ever heard. No, come look at the ritual. It's safe. If you don't believe me, I can lead you down to take a look. Apart from the unopened seals and buildings, there's nothing. Upon hearing his reply, Anthony Hormick and Randall exchanged looks, registering the puzzlement in each other's eyes. This was completely different from their expectations. This made them suspect that something was wrong. Things weren't as serious as they had imagined. At this moment, Ariana said, You even created the Great Smog? No. Bullshit. Then who was it? No, Prince Grove shook his head again. That was a lesson we learned from cooperating with the demonesses. They actually tried to control Etzek and used him to gain control over the kingdom. That's not exactly how it happened. And if we'd seen through by us, they created the Great Smog. Wait, I'm reading wrong. After it was seen through by us, they created the Great Smog. From that moment forth, we broke all contact with them. But that wouldn't have happened if they weren't with them. Having said that, he pointed below and frankly said, how could we do such a thing just to secretly dig up Blood Emperor ruins? I don't know. As long as you heap deep down and closely examine it, you will understand what I mean. Don't worry, with Ma'am Mariana around, no traps will work. Besides, ignoring the fact that we lack such manpower, even if we were able to secretly bury you in the ruins, the churches will discover a problem. I don't believe that you didn't report this matter to your respective holy sees before coming. If you don't return in a while, they will definitely take the corresponding actions. Demigods like Randall and Anthony fell into thought as they cast their gazes at the simply dressed Ariana. Ariana calmly nodded. Okay. The angel of the three saints then enter the depths of the ruins under the guidance of Prince Grove. They discovered that there was a ruin hidden in the darkness with no man having set foot there, as well as the men and women who had been taught to form different rituals. Everything was orderly and serene. On your reactions, I'm at 362. Damn. You're catching up. You were like at 2 something the other day. Ariana Hormick and the other demigods acted according to their own thoughts, separately investigating the different regions. Yo, man, thank you for watching our old videos. They even left and went further to investigate, but they failed to discover anything. After receiving Ariana's notice, Klein changed Konus Kilgore into a servant inside the manor, making the MI9 deputy director vanish. Then he unhurriedly held a sacrificial ritual. He sent the atoms he received above the Great Fog to further research, patiently awaiting daybreak. Damn. Next chapter. We keep going. We keep going. We are not stalling today, brothers and sisters. We literally keep it going. What is this? What am I moving right here? Locked in? Yeah, we stay locked in. We stay locked in. Now, as I'm saying we stay locked in, I need to find something that's moving right here. Give me a sec. I don't know. I'm clicking on something. It's not that. There's something I'm clicking on that keeps moving. Is it the fan art? I think it's the fan art. No, it's not the fan art. Give me a sec. I give up. I don't know what that thing is. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what that was. Alright. Drink G Phil and we keep going. Because I had nothing to do yesterday and I was also listening to you on work today. Dude, thank you. Bro will soon be a regular in the live stream. That's what's up, man. Thank you. I'm waiting for Ayo to join the stream. This dude literally binged everything already. He caught up. He's commenting on stuff from chapter 1000 already. This guy went through like 1,000. He went through 150 videos already. That huge fucking respect, man. When he joins, holy shit. I'm excited for Ayo to join. Timestamp and let's keep reading. Hope you guys are having a good day, by the way. Soon? Soon. I know, soon. I'm waiting. All right. Ooh, I almost manually hit record. Chapter 1031 is called Possibility. As the sky lit up, the matters along the Sussex River North Bank began to wake up amidst the morning mist. Then the tall and portly Framis Cage came to the guest room where Conus Kilgore slept last night. He knocked on the door and prepared to have breakfast with this MI9 deputy director. However, there was no response. As the brigadier general headed for the dining room, Framis Cage turned around in puzzlement and left the first floor. After breakfast was over, everyone realized that Conus Kilgore had vanished. Under Dwayne Dante's lead, they headed outside the guest room and watched the land steward Richardson open the door with his key. There was no one inside. This Brigadier General Kilgore have a hobby of taking morning strolls. Much as curiously as he pinched the two ends of his cheekbones, Framis Cage shook his head without hesitation. No. Did you hear anything last night? The chancellor of the Backland University of Technology, Portland Moment, surveyed the area and asked. Mach recalled for a moment. No, it was very quiet, perfect for vacation. Beside him, Hazel looked in the room curiously, but she couldn't think of any possibilities. At this moment, Framis Cage raised a theory. Brigadier General Kilgore is an important member of the military, and he often needs to handle unexpected matters. Saw dog. If I miss, I miss. Perhaps he had long left the matter returned to Backland. This steam car tycoon was clearly trying his best to downplay the matter. He seems to know something, or at least he guessed that Conus Kilgore came to Mayor Manor for some private personal goal. Klein listened to their conversation and said to the butler Walter and land steward Richardson with a heavy look. Asked their servants in the manor if they had seen Brigadier General Kilgore last night or this morning. If they haven't, send someone back to Backland and visit Brigadier General Kilgore's family. Inform them this matter and let them decide whether we need to immediately make a police report. After giving his instructions, Klein stroked his white sideburns and said to Mach and the other guests, things aren't clear yet. Perhaps Brigadier General Kilgore left because of an urgent matter and didn't want to hold up everyone's vacation. Let's do this. We'll continue with our hunting plans and return when the police arrive. As Brigadier General Conus Kilgore companion Framis Cage had raised an excuse for his crisis on the one that was rather convincing, Mach and company agreed with Dwayne Dante's suggestion and left the area. Hazel walked right at the back and glanced at Brigadier General Conus Kilgore's guest room and its neighboring room. She had a nagging feeling that something wasn't right as she subconsciously wanted to use her powers of cryptologist to reconstruct the situation. However, an intense sense of fear emerged deep in her heart. She had no idea what she was afraid of. She eventually gave up on idea. She vaguely felt that she had some experience in such matters, and those experiences told her not to look at things she shouldn't see or listen to things she shouldn't hear. After the guest servants left the floor, a thick carpet held the weight of the coffee table inside of the room beside Conus' guest room began moving. Bit by bit, it pulled itself up from under sofa and coffee table without causing much of a stir. Following that, the yellowish-brown carpet stood up and revealed it on the other side. It was a solidified flesh. What? The flesh was squirming and reorganizing itself as it soon transformed into person, a mixed-blood young man. This was Dwayne Dante's valet Uni. Oh. I was like, what is this? And the following Dwayne Dantes was Conus Kilgore. He wore the same face and had the same build. To Klein, there was no need to disguise Uni in such a manner. He couldn't get him to transform himself into another person and blend in with the servants, using an illusion to interfere with their senses, making them unable to discover the addition of this person. It was a simpler and more reliable method. However, acting acting remained important to a demigod, it was a key to accelerating the potion's digestion as for resisting the inclinations of losing control and madness. Therefore, Klein would deliberately try to be bizarre in the handling of many matters. Very bizarre indeed. He should go on an adventure and see how bizarre it gets. Of course, he didn't wish to harm the innocent. Even in creating bizarre and eerie situations, he would try hard not to let others notice. Do you think the Nier Automata OSTs are copyright? Some are good. Some are good. Here, I think I still have a few saved that are safe to play. These were the ones that I still have that I think are safe to play. I only have 2. I can play... Let's play Shadow Lord's Castle. This one is good. This one is good to play. Then the bizarre and eerie atmosphere was mainly... Bruh, this one works. Bruh? Bruh. What happened, bruh? The bizarre and eerie atmosphere was mainly for himself to gain approval of the potion inside him. This would only... I want you to play one soon. IDK if it's part of the safe ones. Oh, which one? We've played some before. The one you linked in the past was safe. Wait, see, send it to me? I'm pretty sure it's safe. Well, here, let me just finish this page. But you can send it. I already have Discord open. If you want to put in the forest drawing I was talking about. Oh, Milosh, that's a badass picture. That's cool. Let me go to music domain. Why do I always struggle to find music domain? It's right here. A beautiful song. Oh yeah, this one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, this one does not work. It's on Spotify? Oi? No? Well, I've heard this song before. I've heard this song a lot. Shadow Slave OST. Forgotten Shore? Mano. Yo, what's up, man? On Discord? Oh, it's on Discord. Dark Dream? Wait, here. I'll look at it right now. Prob? Yes, Prob? If you want, I'll look it up right now. Wait, spooky music. I don't know about that one. Do you want to play Vanitas? Atlas or Apostrophe. I got the Silk Song music. I don't think there isn't any there's no Shadow Slave music on the music domain. Well, if you have it, link it on the music domain. If there's any Shadow Slave music, I'm down. We can play it. I'll just play this for now, just since this was okay. Shit, now I'm struggling to fucking find music. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Let's just play some Erdtree music. For people that have played it. Damn, I got so many tabs. I now understand why streamers have so many fucking tabs open. I get it now, dude. Alright, oh my goodness. There's so many fucking tabs open. Kill me already. Holy shit. Whoa, I got way too many tabs. I'm getting a headache looking at all these tabs. It's getting hard to manage this stuff for me now. If the music is too loud, let me know. That's way too loud. Oh my god, man. Fucking Elden Ring music just decides to play super loud whenever it fucking wants. It can't be consistent. The bizarre and eerie atmosphere was mainly for himself to gain the approval of the potion inside him. This would undoubtedly accelerate the digestion rate of his potion, but without the feedback of a spectator, it meant that the acting wasn't complete enough. This made the speed at which he digested the bizarre sorcerer potion not as fast as he had imagined. Despite doing so many things and trying out so many acts, Klein didn't feel like it was possible for him to reach Sequence 3 by the end of this year. Back in Eastboro, inside a 2-bedroom rental apartment, Shio sat on an unstable chair as he stared out of the window in a daze, her expression a little gloomy. Sim, what's up, dude? Force swallowed her saliva and sat opposite of Shio, blocking her line of sight. You seem to have lost all your motivation. Do you know Do you know what to do after receiving the answer? It's because you have no access to the king. Shio's eyes fluttered as she slowly came to her senses. Whether it's to redeem my father's reputation or revenge, the chances are slim when facing the king. I can't think of a way to complete something like that yet. That's because you're too weak. When you reach sequence 4 and become a demigod, you'll discover many solutions, and the only problem is that they'll be more dangerous. Oh, it's going to be good. Now the music is just gone. I can't just play this. I need to change it. Just play this for now. That's okay. That's good. When you reach sequence 4 and become a demigod, you'll discover many solutions. The only problem is that it will be more dangerous. Force tried encouraging her. In addition, you can still use others, just like the person monitoring Charmaine. She too wanted to know who Viscount Stratford was loyal to. She must be interested in the king's secret. Charmaine, she'll repeated the name as her state of mind suddenly recovered. Beside them, there was a bronze cross and a ghostly blue gem that resembled a vertical eye on a table. The gem's exterior had 3-like patterns. The beyond characteristic appeared after Charmaine's death. It made things around it appear mild, and it accentuated their beauty. However, with the bronze cross around it, its glow was confined to a small area. The monitor is one of the culprits behind Charmaine's death. Shio said rather seriously they had already found a spot to bury Charmaine, and Forrest had flipped through layman's travels to placate the dead Charmaine. Already? Forrest immediately nodded. Yes, it's why she was instigated to investigate the king's secret and come into contact with the latent danger. Didn't you say that she might be able to monitor where we used to live? We can find an opportunity to return to incognito, throw a letter into the mailbox, and write that Viscount Stratford is loyal to King George III, and that he has a huge secret. This way, I believe that she will be able to see it. Shio thought carefully and nodded solemnly. Okay. After discussing what they were about to do next, Forrest stood up and pointed at the bronze cross. It's time for us to show our sincerity to Mr. Full for all the help we received. I plan on sacrificing it to Mr. Full now. You don't have any objections, right? No, Shio replied without hesitation. Manner Manor, it was another evening. The news sent back to Koenigsegger family was to wait, since this MI9 deputy director often acted in such ways, involving himself in matters of national security. No, it won't get the channel deleted. No. Of national security, therefore, Mach & Company didn't panic. Yeah, we'll play it. I need to find a song that fits so quickly I can't. No, it's okay. We'll play it. Just let me know when to play it then. Then they made us use of animals. They herded and roasted them over a bonfire at a party on the lawn behind the manor. Seeing the gentlemen roll up their sleeves and busy themselves around the roasting rack, the ladies heading over to help from time to time, and the children running around eagerly, Klein held a cup of sweet white wine, a fine product of Maynard Manor, and sat on the white wooden chair, a smile suffering his lips. Besides him was a mixed blood valet, Uni, who stood upright while awaiting the instructions. And inside a particular room in the manor's main building, a pair of eyes were silently looking down. It belonged to a person who looked identical to Uni. That evening breeze blew past just as Klein was about to get up and showcase what it meant to roast meat from Desi at the roasting rack. He suddenly saw a figure phase into existence for him. It was Ariana, who wore a simple robe and tree bark as a belt. This servant consummate looked at Dwayne Johnson and said, there was nothing special in the underground ruins. This servant consummate looked... Wait, I just read this. There was nothing special in the underground ruins. She then recounted the main points of what she and the 3 archbishops saw, as well as the explanation given by the Prince of Sonia, Grove Augustus. That doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. There's something else behind it. The first thought that appeared in Klein's mind was suspicion, as Viscount Stratford had Saintess of the White Caterina provide him with assistance. This clearly meant that the king's fashion hadn't completely severed ties with the demoness sect. Under the premise that the Great Spunk of Backlund had already happened, their continued relationship with the demoness sect meant that it wasn't something that could be explained as hoping to keep the Blood Emperor's ruins for themselves. With such in-depth cooperation with the demoness sect and psychology alchemists not wish to split the spoils. In that case, why wouldn't they directly seek the help of the 3 churches? Klein instinctively believed that the problem with the ruins hadn't truly been discovered. He suspected that there had been a leak during the entire process, allowing the king to make preparations. With Mam Ariana around, the possibility of discovering something amiss via the method of divination and prophecy can be eliminated. From my killing of Koenigsegger and the 3 church joint operation, the number of people who know of it doesn't exceed 10. Furthermore, They're all involved in high-ranking members of each church. How is it possible that there was a leak? Viscount Stratford, unless one of them is a spy or a double agent. Viscount Stratford problem resulted in the people in the ruins deploying contingency plans. No, his standing wasn't at that level. Even in Cornelius Kilgore didn't know the exact situation, much less him. He was only in charge of liaising. I assume is teaming up with the demonic sect and handling matters at the periphery. He might not even know of the underground ruins. Klein's thoughts raced as he sought the reasons. He first eliminated the possibility of them being prepared due to Viscount Stratford. After all, the death of the captain of the Royal Guards wasn't that important or crucial. As such, there was very few possibilities that could explain the situation. One, a person who knew of the secret amidst this sequence of events had deliberately or unintentionally leaked the matter due to particular reasons. Two, they had noticed something wrong with Cornelius Kilgore's seemingly ordinary state, but Klein didn't notice anything. The psychology alchemists are in cahoots as well. Probably doing the liaison between the exterior and the ruin. Liaison. I've never said that word in my life, man. The psychology alchemists are in cahoots as well. Could my thoughts be read and the secret revealed? But I have the Grey Fog augmenting me. No matter what, there will be some abnormality. It's just like when I face a spectator demigod. With Anderson, the psychology alchemist originated from something Hermes left behind. Hermes is, as he thought about it, Klein's eyes suddenly widened. He instinctively stopped himself from thinking deeper about it as he shot a look at Ariana and relaxed. Ah, it's time to act as Hermes. Ah, maybe he has to act as him now. It means being the bridge between the ruined and exterior world. Oh, thank you. I didn't know what that meant. Thank you, D. Hermes left behind. Hermes is, as he thought about it, Klein's eyes suddenly widened. He instinctively stopped himself from thinking deeper about it as he shook a look at Ariana and relaxed. He asked, is this place concealed? Very. Ariana replied calmly. People behind her came and went, but no one noticed her. Klein exhaled as he formulated his thoughts. Emperor Roosevelt once said in his diary that the members of the ancient secret organization are all important figures. Then could it be possible that one of the high-ranking members of the three churches is a member of the... Oh, shit. Okay, so one of them is a Twilight Hermit Order member. That makes sense. Then could it be possible that one of the high-ranking members of the three churches is a member of the Twilight Hermit Order? And could it be that the ruins which Ariana and Archbishop saw wasn't the real one, but one imagined by Adam? How does he even come to that conclusion? The ruins which Ariana and the Archbishop saw wasn't the real one, but one imagined by Adam. We got a rat in our midst. We gonna fucking find the rat. I'll tell you that much. We definitely gonna fight the rat, especially because this chapter is called Forceful Purifier. We're gonna purify that rat. Whoever it is, we're gonna snuff him out. We gonna find him today. All right, let me do my timestamp. Let's keep reading. We already saw a huge place imagined by Adam before, bro. But like the whole ruins, and then it can fool Ariana and the Archbishops. But like the fact that it can, I mean, yes, Adam is a higher sequence than the Archbishops and Ariana. Okay, I buy that. I buy that. Yes. Okay, wait, no, I do buy that, Cammy. I know. We did see a huge place imagined by Adam before, bro. And then not only that, it's implied Adam is, well, it's not implied, it's known. It's factual. It's factually known that Adam is stronger than them, so it'd be harder for them to perceive the difference. He's king of the angels. Under the deities, nobody's stronger than him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, even Ariana wouldn't be able to compete to Adam. Okay, so I believe that. I buy that. I buy that this shit is all made up by Adam, and that's not the real one. Oh, and then the real one definitely is actually sacrificing real people. And the fake one, no, man, look, everybody's alive inside. Come on in. All right, let's snuff out the spy. Next chapter. Timestamp. Let's snuff out the spy. 38 minutes. 37 seconds. Did I do my timestamps right? Okay. I didn't do a timestamp for the last chapter. Give me a sec. Oh, wait, no, I did. I just titled it the same thing. Let me just change the last chapter. I put chapter 1030 twice by accident. We're good. False alarm. We're good. Pretty much, yeah? Okay. Sip. G Fuel. Keep going. I like how I say sip and I just chug the rest. Wait, before I start, let me read that. Angels are sequence 2. Oh, archbishops are sequence 1. I thought archbishops... Okay, yes, that makes sense. Higher than an angel. Okay. Angels are sequence 2. Archangels are sequence 1. King of angels are 0.5. Deities 0. Deities 0. When your bro asks for a sip of your drink and we just chug the whole thing. Chapter 1032 is called Forceful Purifier. I assume this chapter is called Forceful Purifier because we're gonna find the not archbishop. Yeah, I don't know why I was saying archbishop. It's archangel. I know. I caught myself when I was reading that. Yes, an archangel is higher than an angel. I originally said yes. Archbishop is higher than angel. That doesn't make sense. I know. I said it backwards. My bad. It's archangel, not archbishop. My bad. I don't know why I said that. My bad. Chapter 1032 is called Forceful Purifier. Restraining his thoughts and looking at the angel of concealment across him, Klein deliberated over his words. Is there a possibility that the ruins you saw were actually imagined? Is that what? Ain't no way. He didn't directly mention Adam or the Twilight Hermit Order, afraid that discussing such matters in Ariana's concealment zone would still be heard by Adam. Oh, he would be able to detect that, who wielded the Spectator Pathway's uniqueness and recently obtained 008. As he was inside Ariana's world of concealment, Klein believed that thinking of Adam and the Twilight Hermit Order wasn't likely to pose any problems, but it wasn't necessarily the case when saying it out loud. After all, Mr. Dord could freely discuss Adam with Emperor Rizal back then, not only because of the beyond powers of a secret sorcerer's secret keeping, but more so because he was also a king of angels, a level not lower than Adam and Amon, perhaps even higher. Imagined, Ariana repeated Klein's words softly as though she had figured out something. At her level, she was no stranger to ancient history and the main characteristics of the 22 pathways. Furthermore, she was also an angel that represented the authority of concealment. She posed the highest clearance in reading all the church's confidential information. A few seconds later, Ariana observed Dwayne Dantes, who had remained sitting there. Psychology alchemist. From Conus Kilger's statement, it was obvious that the king's faction was working with the psychology alchemists, and this was an organization that had Spectator Pathway in its control. It's gonna be good, huh? Klein first nodded and then added, the higher-ups likely do not have the ability of turning imagination into reality. In this world, there are only 2 people who have such authority. Ariana nodded and thought, I understand. Okay, let me raise the volume a bit. I understand. And I understand that I raised the volume, I think, at a good pace. All right, I understand. Now that the underground ruins are open to us, I will find a chance to verify it. If it's true, it means that several archbishops of the Church of Steams and Storms are working for him. She didn't raise the possibility that the Church of Evernight upper echelons were problematic as the goddess wielded the authority of concealment. It was very difficult to keep such matters from her for prolonged periods of time. Klein couldn't help but ask in surprise, the underground ruins will be left open to the 3 churches. Yes, if it truly is imagined, it means that their cooperation is on the brink of success and that they just need to delay things a little longer. Ariana simply explained her theory. This is also what I'm thinking. The tide of times is coming in a bid to drown out everything. Thankfully, I'm a lot more prepared than before. I now have a demigod level marionette, and in certain areas, he's stronger than me. Not all of it. Certain areas, yeah. After all, he can use my... I don't remember this. How does he use his Beyonder powers? He can use my Beyonder powers while I can use his. Since I can't digest the bizarre sorcerer potion anytime soon and seek my advancement, strengthening my marionette is also an effective measure to protect myself. I can also take note of the Sanguine's and Miss Sharon's plot against the Rose School Thought. Klein's thoughts... No, I forgot how he's able to do that. Miss Sharon's plot against the Rose School of Thought. Klein's thoughts instantly turned clear. He reined in his thoughts and casually asked, do all 3 churches doubt Prince Grove's explanation? They don't. Ariana frankly shook her head. Conus Kilgar had to mention Katerina. Really? They fucking buy that? But you don't have evidence. After all, they can explain that. After they split with the demoness, Katerina was sent to... Oh, wait. I'm moving my thing. Let me keep myself centered. That way it's a little bit easier. They don't. Ariana frankly shook her head. Conus Kilgar had mentioned Katerina, but you don't have evidence. After all, they can explain that. After they split with Demoness, Katerina was sent to discuss things in an attempt to make amends, but was cruelly rejected. During this process, they knew each other's secrets. None of them took action at the meeting. It could be explained that Conus Kilgar, a demigod who wasn't privy to the matter, made the mistake of the cooperation effort was still in place. He can share his powers to marionettes, but not the other way around. He can share his powers with Marionette, but he can't force the marionettes to share his powers with him. Okay. Thank you. And faced with an angel family, one that wields at least half the forces of the military of the three churches won't immediately lose decorum with a team unless there's evidence. I read that wrong. I already know it. Firstly, they aren't united, and they have to consider that if a civil war were to erupt, a civil war? I'm sorry. We really are setting up war. What the fuck? This war has been brought up a few times in this volume. And they have to consider that if a civil war were to erupt, countries like Phasic, Intis, and Fainted Potter, as well as the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun, God of Combat, Earth, Mother, and the God of Knowledge and Wisdom might try to take advantage of the situation. Klein quickly came up with an analysis of this present situation. What? He simply mentioned there were signs of Saints of White Katarina appearing over Viscount Stratford's side. I will try to find her. War? Man, you guys are excited for war. What the fuck? Wait. I think wait. Okay, you can tell. Spoil it. Are we actually going to war? Wait, no, I lied. I'm thinking a lot. Don't say yes or no. Don't say yes or no. Her families were clearly not as dangerous as her. Hold on. I actually don't want to know. I tried to do so as well. Ariana indicated that she would investigate the clues regarding Katerina. I have to say that Madame Ariana's attitude was discussing matters with me is rather comforting. She doesn't exclude the condescending attitude of an angel or archbishop has. She completely treats me as an equal. After hearing Ariana's words, Klein felt a baffling sense of potency. He instead asked, has Hyven Rambus of the psychology alchemist been captured? This was one of the key figures mentioned in the information from Conus Kilger's testimony, one of the clues that exposed the machinations of the king's factions. He has gone missing. Ariana answered succinctly. If I see. No spoiler. Yeah, Klein kills Olga in the battlefield. Get out of here, dude. Hell no, dude. He has gone missing. Ariana answered secondly. As expected, the possibility of a leak has increased again. Ivan Rambus has gone underground, but that doesn't mean that he can't contact Miss Justice and other members directly. When the time comes, Help Mr. Magician has already hated him for some time. The only problem is whether Adam will appear in Backland and imagine fake ruins, maybe. If that were the case, attacking Hyven Rambus might mean a non-zero probability that he's being watched by the King of Angels. It might even be the case that he still sit beside Hyven Rambus without anyone knowing. The more Klein thought, the more of a headache he had. I'm getting a headache. If it had to be said that in an era in which deities rarely descended upon the real world, the two brothers Adam and Amon were the limits to one's level and strength, and shit. They were synonymous with being terrifying, powerful, and frightening, and formidable. A king of angel was an existence closest to that of a deity. I do find it cool how, like, Amon and Adam's clothing is very polar opposites. Like, Amon is wearing very, like, ambiguous, like, dark clothing that, like, conceals him, keeps him very mysterious. And then Adam is wearing, like, a lot of white and holy, like, bright, like, robes. I do like that. I do like how they contrasted each other. A king of angels was an existence closest to that of a deity. Compared to Amon, I'm more afraid of Adam. He might be sitting beside you, listening to you and watching you smile, while he reads your most truthful thoughts, making you die in the most natural, logical, but baffling manner. At this thought, Klein couldn't help but look around, afraid that the simple priest with pure-looking eyes and beard would be holding a tray, standing beside the roasted rack as he waited for the food and watching him with a smile. Without a doubt, Klein didn't discover anything. Noticing his reaction, Ariana calmly added, he isn't here. Phew, thankfully there's the blessings of an angel of concealment. Klein controlled his thoughts and nodded gently. I will take note of Hyven Rambus' whereabouts. Ariana nodded and said, after this matter's over, you can attempt to pray to the goddess for bestowment. That is to say, the goddess is very satisfied with my performance up to now. When the time comes, she will bestow me with a scholar of your potion formula. Klein roughly understood Ariana. He stood up and tapped his chest 4 times. Praise the lady. Damn, dude. Ariana also drew the crimson moon. I need to learn the praying thing for, like, when they say, like, pray the crimson moon. Ariana also I need to know how to draw the crimson moon. Ariana also drew the crimson moon. Praise the lady. Her figure disappeared bit by bit as though she had been erased. Yet the guests at the bonfire party didn't notice the arrival of the ascetic at all. Klein sat down again and continued analyzing his situation from another angle. Colin's killer disappeared without any warning. From the evidence presented by Ma'am Mariana and the words she said, it implied that MI9 deputy director is in her hands. She has her. Don't care. It's yin, not yang. Aren't you a cultivation fan? Ooh. Oh, we're having a cultivation disagreement here. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I hope we come to any truths if there's a disagreement. From what the King's faction and psychology alchemists know, Dwayne Thontis can likely be confirmed to be a secret informant of the Church of the Evernight. This way, my safety can be guaranteed, but I can't avoid being observed and monitored. I have to be careful. I have to think of a reason to add a new servant. I can't keep having Konis Kilger and Uni hide in the manor. This will make it easier for a problem to be discovered, or maybe I can make one marionette turn into human skin clothes. What the fuck? He's gonna turn a marionette into a human skinned clothes, and he just wears them? This will make it easier for a problem to be discovered, or maybe I can make one marionette turn into a human skin clothes, fusing with the other wait! He turns one marionette into a human skin clothes, and then he fuses it with the other marionette? What? Let me skip the song in the meantime. What? As he thought, Klein stood up and placed a glass of sweet white wine on the table beside him. He then turned to walk to the main building of the manor and entered one's bathroom. What? That's so weird if we can do that. He then took 4 steps counterclockwise and arrived above the Great Fog. He summoned the Sea God Scepter and used the prayer point he marked as Uni to observe every corner of Mayor Manor. During this process, Klein's mind was somewhat tense, worried that he would see a priest wearing a simple clothes while having a beard and golden eyes. Of course, compared to seeing this priest, he was more afraid of the priest looking up and smiling back at him, raising the cup of wine in his hand. Fortunately, after a series of inspections, he confirmed that there was nothing unusual. Mayor Manor, Klein heaved a sigh of relief and retracted his spirituality. He then cast his gaze at the bronze cross on the long model table. This was an item that the magician in judgment had recently sacrificed. They said it was to thank Mr. Full for his blessings and hope to please the existence. Damn, dude. What's up? Most normal bizarre sorcerer act? You know what? That is a very bizarre way to conceal your marionettes. So you know what? That is probably the most normal bizarre thing we're going to see. Yeah, you're right, Cammy. You do have a point. It doesn't look like it's level it's low. Klein picked up the spiky cross and used divination to quickly figure out the mythical item beyond her powers and negative effects. Both of them were on and at the same. The bronze cross could cleanse powers of degeneration, corruption, corrosion, and darkness, evil elements, and other domains, quickly causing them to dissipate. This is such a good cleanser. Quickly causing them to dissipate until nothing was left. Due to this reason, the mythical item could also clear the mental corruption of beyonder characteristics. And it was precisely because of this potent purification that the bronze cross couldn't coexist with other mythical items or be in contact with the other beyonder characteristics. It couldn't exist on the same person. Furthermore, it also repelled the wielder's beyonder characteristics, albeit not in the manner that it was obvious. Over the passage of time, it would slowly cause the beyonder characteristics to seep out. This also meant that it was one were to carry or were to the the fuck am I saying? Whoa, reading comprehension struck again. Woo! This also meant that if one were to carry or wear the bronze cross for more than an hour, the Beyonder sequence would drop by at least 1 sequence. Oh, it drops by 1 sequence. Beyond 3 hours, non-demigods would definitely be reduced to non-demigods would be reduced to an ordinary person. Exceeding 6 hours, sequence 4 and 3 saints would also lose their Beyonder powers. It was almost ineffective against angels because they had the ability to shatter. I don't remember this. It was almost ineffective against angels because they have the ability to shatter Beyonder characteristics. They had extremely strong control over their source of power. I don't remember that. It can be used to retrieve the characteristics of Beyonders who failed to advance without dying, or from those who lost control. This cross's power resembled the sun's pathway unshadowed. Klein nodded thoughtfully. They do? Just pull an Audrey Dolphson and escape? And Andy? I don't know who that is. Is that a prisoner that escaped? Oh, snap. All right, well, for now, chapter 1033. Let there be light. Ooh. Yo, is there a picture of that cross? That sounds like a badass item. That's a badass fucking sealed artifact. Just a badass chain, dude. Ugh. Timestamp. If they can get rid of corruption, one of the ways Klein had to use the marionette sequence of Rosago that was corrupted because of the ear. Music changed near the end of 1033. One of the way Klein had to use his marionette sequence of Rosago. Oh my god, yeah, he had to wait. Yeah, he had to wait because it was corrupted. Holy shit, yeah, he had to wait a long ass time until he hit marionette. Rosago was to corrupt because of the ear. Yeah, the all black ear, right? Music change at the end of 10:33. You want me to play that one then, right? All right. Let me just keep it open right here. All right. Let me just keep the song up here. Give me a sec, Cammy. Then just keep it loop. All right. Let me just kind of get the music ready on my end. I don't want it too loud. So I'm gonna probably keep it right here, just loud enough. Near you? Yeah, I know, not yet. I just want to get the music ready, and I want to get the audio ready. That way I can just play it instantly, and that won't be good. Should have water in here. Dude, give me a sec. I am so fucking tempted. I am so fucking tempted right now, man. I am so tempted to go buy Gears of War Reloaded right now. Just because it's $40 and I can literally fucking play it on my PlayStation. That is so crazy, dude. I am so fucking tempted, man. I'm so good. I'm so good. I am so fucking tempted. $40 video game, Gears of War, bro. Oh my god. I've been contemplating it all day. I think I am gonna fucking buy it, man. I think man, I shouldn't buy it, man. I'm trying to save up money, dude. But I'm fucking. I'm tempted. But I should save up. I should save up money. I should go through my fucking backlog, dude. I have such a big ass backlog, but then it's like, oh, I want to go play this game instead. Oh man. Gaming is hard. You know how women complain about like, I don't have enough clothes. I don't know what clothes to wear. I'm like, babe, you have like 1,000 outfits. For me, it's like, oh, I don't have enough games to play. I don't know what games to play. And I have such a big ass backlog of video games already. Like, you want to, before I read, this is my backlog. All these games right here are my backlog. All this right here. Same. Look. This is my backlog. That's my backlog. All of this is my backlog of video games that I haven't beat on the PlayStation. And then these are the games I currently have playing. So these are the games I'm currently playing. And these are the games currently on my backlog. And then these are backlog games mixed in with new games I bought that I haven't beaten. So yeah, this is my backlog. This is my backlog. And then that's what I'm currently playing from my backlog. And then that's only that. I haven't even beaten like half of my fucking Switch games, man. It's crazy. And then don't even get me started about all this shit on my PC. I just got chill. But you know what? Long story short, I think I am going to buy Gears of War Reloaded when I end stream. And then I might just play it on stream. Let me just do it. So much backlog? I know, man. I know. And then you know what's crazy? I still got my OG Xbox 360, bro. All right? I bought my OG Xbox 360, like, before my original Xbox, when I was a child, bro. I was in my teens when I got that bitch. And it's still kicking. Well, the white one broke, and then I had to change it. Bro, just read already? I know, I'm sorry. I went on a slight rant. I'm sorry. Nah, it's okay. No, it's cool. No, you're good. No, because, like, you guys already know I'm only limited to, like, 2 to 3 hours. So I know you guys want more reading. I'm sorry. All right, but don't worry. I already have it ready. We're good right here. 1033. Let's just keep reading. We're good right here. Perfect. All right. No, you guys are good. Chat. No, that was my fault. That was such a big rant. Me complaining that I don't have enough time to play my games. Chapter 1033 is called "Let There Be Light," brothers and sisters. Scrutinizing the bronze cross in his hand, Klein was certain that it was at least a grade 1 sealed artifact. Apart from its purifying effects, the mythical item also posed the Flaring Sun and other demigod-level spells of the Sun domain. As for its negative effects, they weren't a problem to resolve if one used it properly. For example, helping people who stumbled into the Beyond World and hoped to escape this madness to becoming normal humans again. Oh. So when someone's at a point of losing control, you're technically helping them. You help them become normal again. It could also be used for people who consumed additional potions to secrete the Beyonder characteristics, though this required precise timing, otherwise it easily caused one sequence to drop. When you read, Klein used cognitation and jumping board. Got it. Klein used cognitation. Got it. Well, I don't want to read the whole thing just in case. Klein used cognitation, change the music. Got you. It easily caused one sequence to drop. Of course, the body and soul had been reconstructed by potions would definitely suffer from frequent conflicts with an ordinary human's essence. Beyonders who'd relied on this bronze cross to retreat from this circle would undoubtedly suffer residual effects, and the exact circumstances would be different depending on their pathways and sequences. This made Klein's side this was the most useful and valuable negative effects he had ever seen. I'm reading it wrong? I'm sorry. Did it again. I'm sorry. To him, the only problem was that the bronze cross couldn't be carried with him for extended periods of time. He couldn't hand it to his marionettes either, as it would expel the marionette's Beyonder characteristics and drop its sequence. And a marionette could no longer consume potions for advancements, as their spirit bodies were essentially dead. As for letting ordinary creatures turn into marionettes, they would praise the sun by wearing this cross for extended periods of time and escape his control. I can only leave it above the Great Fog and take it out when I need it. To Bizarre Sorcerer, the side effect isn't much. After all, I don't perform unprepared. I'll later confirm if the corresponds to an unshadowed. If it does, wait. No, he didn't use he didn't use it. My bad. I thought that was the music change. Not yet. If it does, I'll sell it off to Little Sun after he finishes digestion, the Priest of Light potion. I believe the City of Silver 6-member council members wouldn't miserly to not exchange it for a sealed artifact of equal value. The Sun pathway is clearly more suitable for the Forsaken Lands gods than other pathways. Klein thought in a good mood as he placed the bronze cross back on the long model table. Can't he just use non-Beyonder marionettes to carry the cross? That's what I'm thinking. But if the marionette uses it, Klein would be perfectly fine. But it technically wouldn't be helping him. Well, no, technically, if you're helping your marionette, it's helping him. That would probably expel his control. Oh, it would probably expel his control of the marionette. Oh, because if it's sapping Beyonder powers, then it wouldn't. You know what? When you put it that way, Cammy, that actually makes more sense. He didn't, it'd probably break the bind. He didn't immediately make a confirmation and planned on leaving it until he returned to 160 Bulkland Street. When that happened, he could also use Dream Divination to figure out the origins of sealed artifacts, as Mayor Manor was too close to the underground ruins. He was afraid that the royal family's angels, or maybe even Adam, was observing the area. If the experiments were to trigger something change and create a stirring of the Great Fog, his biggest secret might be exposed. Even if this sealed artifact doesn't correspond to an unshadowed, it's definitely from the Sun pathway. At most, it mixed with other Beyonder characteristics. No, it would be expelled. And the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun's trademark is a sacred emblem made of gold and abstract sun, having nothing to do with a cross. Damn. After eliminating this possibility and only related to the Sun domain in the City of Silver creators, the ancient sun god Adam and Amon's dad, the suspected transmigrator. I still find it crazy that he's like OCG is oh, the suspected transmigrator. And I'm like, how the hell did he fail that brought about 2 more transmigrators? What led him to his failure? It appeared in the hands of Viscount Stratford, so does this mean that in a particular sense it's the Twilight Hermit Order who's cooperating with the royal family and the psychology alchemist is just a ruse? Yes, that would make sense. And then they're pulling the strings in the shadow. Of course, there are too many other possibilities. It might have been found by the Antigonus family, since they're quite a famous angel family in the 4th epoch and have a long history. Finding certain items of the ancient sun god is rather normal. If this sealed artifact really was provided by Adam, could it be part of his arrangements? Faced with Demoness Trissy, who is clearly involved with an evil god, and her partner Viscount Stratford, who chose to use this purifying cross and gave up using other items, that arrangement is very reasonable. Upon deciding to eliminate Charmaine, since he wasn't sure if he had been corrupted by an evil god, and was afraid of accidents happening, he didn't use any direct offensive means and instead wasted time activating this sealed artifact. That too is also very reasonable, yet it was all very reasonable. I'm still not sure if there are any signs of this outcome being arranged. If it's all too reasonable, maybe. With this in his mind, my phobia for 008 has reared its head again. Yes, it's a phobia. 008 became one of his phobias. He reared its head again. Yes, Miss Magician and Miss Judgment had privately discussed Adam before. It involved matters regarding the Forsaken Lads of Gods, the Giant King's Court, and the Kings of Angels. This, even if it was arranged by Adam, who does he want to give this item to then? Klein felt Fours. Fours is a book writer. I think it'd be fitting if Fours ends up with a quill at the end in some way. Klein felt his scalp tingle. Tingle? It's a weird word. I haven't said tingle in a while. Klein felt his scalp tingle as he thought about it. Compared to himself, he decided to do further experiments after returning to the Buckland Street. He means the cross? He didn't hesitate and immediately... Like, because if it was all written by Adam, then technically Adam wants somebody else to obtain the cross. That makes sense. Wait, thank you. I didn't piece that together. Because if Klein is speculating that Adam is doing all this behind the scenes, that means, from his point of view, Adam wants somebody else to get the cross. Like, maybe Adam wants Klein to give the cross to... Okay. Thank you, Richie. That does make sense. He didn't hesitate and immediately returned to the real world. As for the items of Conus Kilgore, he relied solely on his divination powers without the Grey Fox enhancements to gain an initial grasp of the situation. Apart from the Concerto of Light and Shadow with the Church of the Evernight Goddess ascetics leader, Ariana had taken in the badge used to open the underground ruins. Conus Kilgore had two other mythical items. One of them was Reverier's Shout of Despair, which Erodes had mentioned. It originated from a failed sacrifice and had two modes. One was an ordinary shot. It might be slightly weaker than the Clown's air cannon. The other was a machine gun sweep. It could spew out large numbers of bullets in 1 or 2 seconds. These two modes came with a Shout of Despair, having a certain level of influence of demigods at the same level. But it wasn't too effective. Of course, not even a demigod could withstand such an attack, just like Klein himself. He didn't have a ridiculous body or defend it with it head-on. The other item was Lucky Grass. I forgot this name. The other item was Lucky Grass. It looked very simple, a 4-leafed clover that had been made into a protective charm. Its power was to accumulate one's chance of success after a subsequent failed attempt. The negative side effects was that it managed the wearer's character... The negative side effect was that it magnified the wearer's characteristics flaws. Got it. Wiz started streaming, so I need to go to his... Oh, he just started right now? Tell him I said what's up. Tell him I said what's up. Klein and praise... Oh, shit, he's ahead. Hey, how many chapters is he ahead, by the way? 100 and like something, right? Klein to praise on it was to change its name to Mother Success. These two mythical items were of little value to Klein. He continued keeping them on Conus Kilgore's person. Instead, it was that this demigod marionette that was his greatest harvest. Lawyers had to acute grasp and knowledge of how to make up loopholes in law. Damn, 160 bucks. Someone tell him to take a break. Used loopholes in laws with the ability to guide and convince the target. Barbarian provided strength in the constitution that broke the rules. Briber had bribe. Baron had corruption of distortion. Mentor of disorder, and Earl of the Fallen had bestowment. Magnify and exploit. They were all pretty good powers. If he hadn't obtained the detailed information from Erodes and made sufficient preparations and formulated a plan, together with the help from an Angel of Concealment, Klein believed that he had no way of restraining Conus Kilgore. Yo, what's up? Awesome. Conus Kilgore, even if he had items like Fate Siphon. In fact, instead of turning him into a marionette, using Creeping Hunger to graze Conus Kilgore would... Oh, you can still graze your marionettes. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. In fact, instead of turning him into a marionette, using Creeping Hunger to graze Conus Kilgore would be a lot more discreet, making it harder to be discovered. But if that's the case, I can only use 3 of Earl of the Fallen beyond her powers. As Klein thought about it, he walked out of the bathroom and returned to the bonfire's party. On the lawn, Mach was standing in front of the roasted rack, trying hard to make East Ballum-styled roasted meat while sweat dripped down his forehead. Hazel was standing a short distance away, her eyes looking on brightly. She no longer had the arrogance from before and had a few black marks across her face. As a result of smoke, Portland Moment was holding a cup of wine, smiling, watching the relatively young lad being busy. From time to time, he would raise a metal skewer with chunks of meat bite at it. Upon seeing the scene, Klein's heart suddenly calmed down. On Sunday afternoon, the group of the people who went to Bulkland Street suburbs returned to Bulkland Street. Before dinner, Klein headed above the gray fog once again and picked up the bronze cross. He first confirmed that the cross corresponded to the Sun Pathway Sequence 4 Unshadowed and had rather uncreatively named it Unshadowed Crucifix. That's a funny name. That's a very, like, to-the-point name. Unshadowed Crucifix. Following that, he picked up a pen and wrote a new divination statement, the origins of this cross, okay? Klein didn't immediately divine if Unshadowed Crux had any traces of being arranged, afraid that it might point to Adam and place him in a state of vigilance. Yeah, we can't even do that because then he could see it. He planned on investigating the situation by figuring out the sealed artifact's origins. If the Unshadowed Crux owner or former owner was Adam, the truth of this matter would undoubtedly point towards a deliberate derangement. I remember in Romero's profile picture of Adam, he was holding a cross. But I don't remember if it was a bronze cross or if it was the same cross. I don't think it was the same cross. I assume it was a different cross, but we'll find out. Putting down the pen, Klein looked down at the cross and exhaled heavily. I'm courting death again. Let's see how much we court death. If he suspected the Unshadowed Crucifix originated from the City of Silver's creator, the ancient sun god, a powerful deity that was stronger than the ancient gods like Dragon's imagination, sneaking a peek at him would cause damage that exceeded Klein's previous divination of Grizel's travels. However, things were no longer the same. When you read, Klein used and jumped the board to enter a state of deep sleep. Deep sleep, courting death. Here we go. Here we go. I got you. Thank you for reminding me, Kemi. However, things were no longer the same. Klein was now a Sequence 4 Bizarre Sorcerer, a demigod. And then next, Sequence 3, Scholar of Yore. Ooh, it's going to be good. The damage he could withstand, as well as the amount of power of the mysterious space above the Great Fog that he could use, far exceeded his previous state back when he was a Sequence 5. After spending a few seconds to calm his emotions, he leaned back into his chair, holding the Unshadowed Crucifix in one hand and holding the piece of paper in the other. He softly repeated the divination statement over and over again. Klein used cognition as a jumping board to enter a state of deep sleep. All right, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Deep sleep. In the hazy world, as I loop the song, we're going to repeat it just so we can hit. And we read the second. In the hazy world, a building whose... Are we recording? Yes, we're recording. Okay, good. In the hazy world, a building whose original form was obscured by layers of grayish-white blood stood in a pitch-black environment. Surrounding it were monsters. A crack opened up and a grayish-white building surfaced as a palm that had almost white skin reached out. What? A figure walked out, a man. He wore a black clergyman robe and had a silver crux hung on his chest. OCG? The man's hair wasn't long and was mainly raven black in color. Amon? There was a faint hint of blonde at the roots of his hair. Okay, that's an descendant. His eyes were pure golden color and his skin was rather white. He had a deep outline and pronounced eye sockets. He looked quite similar to the people of the northern continent. He took 2 steps forward and reached his hand out and grabbed the very ordinary crucifix. His eyes gradually lost their look of confusion as the ends of the lips curled up slightly. He said in a deep voice, "Let there be light." The pitch-black surroundings of the grayish-white building was immensely pierced by bright lights, revealing what it really looked like. This was a deep valley where nothing could be seen above it, yet the infinite light filled every corner. And there was light. Okay? The image of the next scene flashed. I don't want to read the bottom in case I read something before I should read it. A drop of golden blood emitted from the light and the heat dripped onto the silver cross. Above the drop of blood seemed to be a figure that was formed of a dazzling light. The face that he couldn't see clearly was looking up, seemingly being infused with pain and a sense of distortion in a very real manner. He cast his gaze outwards towards the area above the Great Fog, casting it at Klein, who was... The fuck? Is he directly looking at him? Casting it at Klein, he casts his gaze over towards the area above the Great Fog, casting it at Klein. It's like he's looking at him, who was seated at the full high-back chair. His deep voice sounded once again. Mysteries? What the fuck? Suddenly, without any forewarning, Klein's thoughts erupted with a boom. What the fuck? Was he able to sense him? That's weird. Wait. Mystery? Not mystery. Mysteries. What? Wait. He casts his gaze over. The individual, right? The individual in the black robe. The next image. Let me reread this part again. Mystery. The image of the next scene flashed. A drop of golden blood that emitted light and heat dripped onto the silver cross. Like, the drop hits. Above the drop of blood seemed to be a figure that was formed of dazzling light. The face that he couldn't see clearly was looking up, seemingly being infused with a pain and a sense of distortion in a very real manner. He cast his gaze over towards the area above the gray fog, casting it at Klein. That's so weird. He's doing a divination and it's looking at him. Who was seated at the fool's high back chair. His deep voice sounded once again mysteries. Suddenly, without any forewarning, Klein's thoughts erupted with a boom. All right, that's fucking hype, dude. What the fuck is going on, dude? Chapter 1044 is called Gains. Now, did the mysterious space above the gray fog get gains or what? Do we get a boon? Let's keep reading. Do I keep the song playing, Cammy? I think I keep the song playing, right? I keep it playing? 1 hour, 8 minutes. Yeah, we'll keep the song playing. 1 hour, 8 minutes, 19 seconds. We'll keep the song playing. We'll keep the song playing, right? This is fucking good, dude. Oh, shit. Let's fucking keep reading. Chapter 1034, as Dunquiz would say, mysteries. All right. The boundless gray fog boiled. Okay, something bad's happening. The boundless gray fog boiled as the ancient and majestic palace burned. Just oh, this is so fucking cool, dude. Just like when we looked at the ancient sun god, the majestic palace burned. Please tell me I have the song looped. The song is looped. The song is looped. Okay, we're good. The majestic palace burned. The blazing flames condensed into a fiery blob as though a blinding sun had risen out from mysterious space. A howling hurricane flopped the long model table, snapping the thick stone columns and causing half the palace to collapse. Sitting at the full seat, Klein's brain was boiling before holes. Is this like before the ancient sun god? I just soiled him. I should receive my loot. Before holes exploded out, charred maggots then began crawling out of the cracks. He didn't die, and he even had very calmly reached out of his right palm and tapped the armrest of the chair. Above the gray fog, the mysterious space quaked in an obvious manner. Waves of wow, my nose is itchy. Waves of power surged out one after another, calming the hurricane and extinguishing the flames. The blazing sun evaporated inch by inch. The thick stone pillars stood once more as the long bronze model table returned to its original state. That magnificent and holy palace appeared as though it had never collapsed or suffered any damage, and we're good. Absolute mysteries. Instead of saying absolute cinema, absolute mysteries. Suffered any damage. Klein's head recovered instantly, and the charred maggots that had drilled out had turned transparent again before crawling back inside. Ugh. As expected, stronger than the dragon imagination, Ank welt. Klein muttered to himself as his expression couldn't help but warp. He couldn't help but massage his forehead. It's painful. This pain is also clearly stronger. While muttering, he wrapped the edge of the long model table and made of the mysterious space above the gray fog quake once more. Amidst the quakes, a pitch black shadow abruptly emerged out of the place before. This shadow twisted and struggled before being swapped clean by the gray fog's powers, leaving nothing behind. After nearly a minute, Klein calmed down completely and recalled the scene he had seen. That should be the ancient oh, so it is the ancient sun god. The city of Silver's creator, Adam, and Amon's dad. Holy shit, dude. So he actually saw the true CG. I said the true CG. Holy shit, dude. He actually saw him. From the crucifix he wore. Oh, so he had black hair with hints of blonde. And that makes sense. Okay, so Amon had like half of his hair and Adam had the other half of his hair color. Okay. From the crucifix he wore and that line, "Let there be light," there's a high chance that he is the first transmigrator. Perhaps he's Caucasian with a religious background. He used a language that can stir the powers of nature. It's similar to Jotun, but it's also different. It doesn't... oh. So he was a Caucasian that's like probably like Christian Catholic. And then that's where like that religion came from. And then he spread that faith. And then that's why there's other people like Adam that also have that same similar belief style. Okay, that's cool. I see the similarities. So once like so that would also prove that he transmigrated. Okay, he used a language that can stir the powers of nature and similar to Jotun, but it's also different. It doesn't belong to Elvish, Dragonese, and ancient Hermes. Yes, it has similarities with the ancient Phasic of the northern continent and the Deutanese of the other southern continent that allowed me to barely understand what he was saying despite me not knowing the language. That's the thought process. Let there be light. That's the thought process. He was saying, despite me not knowing this language, this is the language he learned from the strange giant building. He transmigrated there and inherited a rich... He transmigrated and inherited a rich inheritance from the giant strange building. The second scene was of him suffering a betrayal. Wait, what is this betrayal? Easy just gave up there? Wait. What? That's the thought process? Wait, what did I give up? What did I give up? The second scene was of him suffering a betrayal. The scene of him was being eaten by the kings of... Oh, when he was being eaten. The scene of him was being eaten by the kings of angels, white, wisdom, and wind. Oh, and that would be his failed attempt. And then maybe then it was Rozelle's time because he failed, even though like something was reborn from him. He technically failed. Okay. To a deity who claims to be a creator, that kind of corporeal pain and the distortion can only appear in such a situation. Yes, the divine blood he dripped before his death fused with the silver crucifix, and it later turned into the latter's form, becoming a rather powerful sealed artifact. From the looks of it, the unshadowed crucifix was obtained by one of the three kings of angels, or it landed in Amon's or Adam's hands. To them, this is an important item their father left behind. The previous possibility isn't too high. The cross effects are extremely useful. Furthermore, its origins are a secret that needs to be kept. No one would give it to the Augustus family. From the looks of it, was it really arranged by Adam? Why did he give the unshattered crucifix to Miss Magician and Misjudgment in a very reasonable manner? He had discovered the two ladies believing in the fool after observing them for some time. This cross was meant to for the fool that doesn't belong to this era. What the fuck, dude? That is so cool. This cross was meant for the fool that doesn't belong to this era. He was literally leaving that for him. Oh, and that's why he said mysteries. What he was implying was like, oh, this is for the next attendant of mysteries before he becomes the fool, maybe? He wishes to know where his father, who also doesn't belong to that era, came from. But the problem is, how does he plan on raising the question and obtaining an answer? That city, chicken plot, the plot chickens, this is... Oh my god. This series is going to be so, hopefully, knock on wood, so much easier to digest, like re-listening to like an audiobook or something. He wishes to know where his father, who also doesn't belong to this era, came from. But the problem is, how does he plan on raising that question and obtaining an answer? That City of Silver's creator level is extremely high. He was able to sense my praying despite the long stretch in history between us. That is crazy. Like, he was able to perceive the divination, even though it doesn't happen for hundreds, thousands of years. Like, epochs, you know? Like, there's a fucking epoch in between them. And, like, you can perceive that. Furthermore, the influence he created not only openly causes the destruction... Wait, I skipped a line. The City of Silver creator level is extremely high. He was able to sense my prying despite the long stretch of history between us. He cast his gaze above the great fog and cast it on the mysterious space. Furthermore, the influence he created not only openly causes destruction, but also secretly invades this place, creating a special shadow. It nearly lurked here, hidden. A what? He created not only openly caused the destruction, but also secretly invaded the place, creating a special shadow. It nearly lurked here, hidden. Doesn't this mean that once one attains the authority of several domains, a deity level will also undergo a qualitative change? Ah! And then you're one step closer to becoming like the original god, right? Where everything's split. What does the othering of mysteries mean? Is it pointing to me? Okay, Klein, you're getting a little too... Oh, I'm sorry. Are we reading Leonard's point of view, or what's going on here? It's like, it's me. But it is him. It does reference him. What does the utterings of mysteries mean? Is it pointing to me or the original owner of this mysterious space? Oh, shit, dude. What the fuck? Questions flashed past Klein's mind, making him come up with several theories, but the final answer eluded him. Does this fear of Adam, he believed that the best outcome for the unshattered crucifix was to have the City of Silver's godlike sealed artifact shatter it and reform it into a pure beyonder characteristic. Reining in his thoughts and suppressing his questions, Klein conjured a new pen and paper and wrote onto the knowledge he had learned from looking straight at the City of Silver creator, Sequence 4 Unshadowed. Oh, he was Sequence 4 Unshadowed? Main ingredients: 1 drop of the sun's divine blood, or 3 adult sun divine bird feathers. Does that come from the sun brooch that was put it in a zik? That's something else, right? I read sun divine birds feathers, and it reminds me of the sun brooch, the sunbird brooch, the bird brooch. Sun divine bird's feather and a piece of holy... But I know they're different. My bad, just a name. Klein now has the potion of unshadowed. That's what he has, right? He's just divining it. I thought he was... alluding to, oh, the City of Silver Crater was sequence 4 Unshadowed. No, it's different. Okay, it's different. And a piece of holy brilliance rock. Supplementary ingredients: 60 millimeters of sun divine bird's blood, 30 millimeters of holy brilliance rock liquid, 7 drops of mutated fingered citron juice, 10 grams worth of powder of heart of magma. Of the heart of magma ritual, extract the strongest emotions that one is most unwilling to abandon before consuming the potion. Inject these emotions back again during this process. Oh, so you're actually getting rid of the emotions and then you instill it back. Sequence 3, Justice Mentor. Sequence 4, Black Knight. Sequence 3, Trinity Templar. What chapter are we reading, by the way? 133. 1034. Sequence 4. After doing all this, Klein picked up the bronze cross again and observed it with a heavy expression. He then threw the unshadowed crucifix into the junk pile and stirred the powers of the mysterious space above the gray fog to suppress it. He didn't wish to see the paper figurines. He began to praise the sun the next time he came in front of an ordinary house in Sherwood Borough. Wait, we're switching point of views? That's crazy. In front of an ordinary house in Sherwood Borough, a postman riding a bike barked and stopped at the door. He then settled down his bike and took out a letter from his bag, glancing to check it if the address was correct. It's here for Shio. The postman briskly walked to the mailbox and threw the letter. Following that, he didn't delay as he got on his bike and kicked off. After a while, a pitch-black flame suddenly spewed out of the mailbox's mouth. The flame burned quietly and quickly disappeared. In Empress Bar, the opulent villa of Earl Hall. Audrey, who had brought Susie to the garden for a stroll, had just returned to the foyer when he saw her father, Earl Hall, come in front from the outside. He had brown knitted, seemingly in deep thought. Father, did something happen? Audrey asked with concern. This was the most basic of observation, which she didn't need to hide at all. Remember to look at the artwork? Bet. Earl Hall, I can probably look at it after this chapter, because we still probably have time for like one more chapter. Earl Hall restrained his frustration expression and said with a smile, "It's nothing important. I just never expected Ivan Rambus to be a member of a cult." He's a member of a cult. Audrey expressed his surprise approximately. She knew that Ivan Rambus was actually like, what? No way. She knew that Ivan Rambus was actually a member of the upper echelons of a secret organization known as the Psychology Alchemist, but she didn't understand how this was suddenly exposed. Earl Hall nodded solemnly. Yes, he's wanted by the 3 churches. I'm still not sure which cult he's involved in. Has he been caught? Audrey's eyes darted around as she asked curiously. No, he disappeared before the warrant was issued. Earl sighed. It's really hard to imagine that he's a cult member. He's one of the excellent characters and is knowledgeable. His rationale and objective in various matters and is filled with wisdom. That's just the side he wants you to see. Audrey inwardly mumbled. Yeah, he fucked up, dude. Then, as usual, she entered the small prayer room and home before dinner. She faced the sacred emblem of the everyday goddess and got into a prayer gesture. However, her low chanting began. The fool that doesn't belong to this era. After chanting the honorific name, Audrey succinctly reported Ivan Rambus has gone missing. He has been identified as a cultist and is now wanted by all 3 churches. With that said, Audrey was about to solemnly pray to the goddess when a boundless gray fog appeared before her. In the middle of the grayish-white fog, a blurry figure sat on the chair, looking down from above and gently nodded. Archangel? Did I say Archangel? My bad. Archangel. Sorry. Archangel. I know it's spelled as Arch, but it's Archangel. My bad. I'm sorry. Thank you, username. Thank you for always helping me out. I'm aware, just as this secret existence said that, the scene before Audrey's eyes changed suddenly. It presented a figure who was concentrated on praying. Honorable Mr. Fool, the Church of the Evernight has obtained intelligence from Conus Kilgar and confirms that King George III has an extremely huge secret. Like, how big of a secret? For the obtaining of a Blood Emperor ruins in the Stirling segment of the Tussock River, he colluded with the demonist sect and psychology alchemists to partake in human trafficking, creating the human disappearance cases that ultimately led to the Great Smog of Backland. The demonist sect's former representative was the spare Nightingale Panatia and was later changed to Saintess of White Katerina. For the psychology alchemist, it's Ivan Rambus. Please remind Miss Justice to be careful when she meets Ivan Rambus again. She needs to be constantly prepared to seek help. His Majesty, Audrey's eyes widened as upheaval went through her heart. Just think of Ark Survival. I've only ever played it a little bit. I've never got into it that much, but I've only ever played a little bit of it. Went through her heart, but I will think about it. Just think of Ark Survival. Just think of fighting the dinosaurs. Got it. She found it difficult to control herself. This was partly due to the fact that this news was shocking for a noble like her. In addition, it had to do with Lie, which magnified her emotions. Almost at the same time, a news report flashed in Audrey's mind. It was the one that had left an unreasonable impression on her. According to preliminary estimates, a total of over 21,000 people died in the smog, and subsequent plague took the lives of close to 40,000 people. Among the deceased were young children, hopefully young men and women. So that's how it is. What is the king plotting? The three churches likely don't have any actual evidence. Otherwise, Father wouldn't only be frustrated to this degree. Audrey felt an inexplicable sense of anger and sadness. It felt like a particular principles she had upheld in the past had been ruthlessly trampled, or the values that had stood up to time were silently crumbling. She subconsciously lowered her head and closed her eyes. Then she exhaled and whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Fool. Please convey my gratitude to Mr. World." After her prayer, Audrey sat in a tranquil darkness and didn't move for a long time. Next chapter. I think this might be this is probably going to be our last chapter. Yeah, it's going to be our last chapter. Let me just update this. 30. Let me just update this. Yeah, it's probably going to be our last chapter as we approach 2 hours on stream. Just since I can't go, I don't want to go that late. I want to be able to get all my errands out the way. And since I missed the gym again, today in the morning, I'm gonna try and get it done today. Ah, man, I hate going late. It's always so fucking crowded. But it is what it is. And also, I haven't ate yet, so I'm trying to starve myself. And man, man, I need to get more consistent, man. I just need to fucking lock in, man, with working out. That's all I need to do. Let me do my... I didn't put the exact title for gains. 1,034 is gains. This one. Got it right here. Beautiful. And then we're going to do overall thoughts after. Just get this ready. Okay. All right, so this is going to be our last chapter. This is going to be our last chapter. And then I am going to have to wrap it up. But don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, for another 2-hour stream, and we should be good. All right, and then after this chapter, we'll look at the artwork. Sorry, before I forget, Milosh. Hey, after this chapter, we'll look at the artwork. Do we paste this one? Yes, this is pasted. It's called gains. 1,030. Got it. Sounds good? Bet. You guys are scaring me a little bit. Why am I seeing Amon's eye? What's going on here? Among? Chapter 1035. This is going to be our last chapter for today. It's called Diary Page in Advance. Backland Eastboro, inside a 2-bedroom apartment, Forrest picked up a fountain pen and wrote on a piece of paper. This was a letter for her teacher, Dorian Gray Abraham. It was to tell him that she was in danger and she had no choice but to leave where she used to stay. Replies... As I raise the volume. Replies were not to be sent there, and if he had sent a letter, he was to quickly change his address and change identities if possible. After writing plenty of words, Forrest put down her pen and folded the letter, stuffed it into an envelope, and adhered a stamp on it. Then he changed into an outdoor attire and left the room where the letter she wanted to send. She wasn't inclined towards the heading out. I'm reading wrong. She wasn't inclined towards heading out, but this new residence of hers not only didn't have alcoholic beverages, but it didn't even have coffee beans. What kind of place is this without coffee beans? Instant coffee, black tea leaves, daily newspapers, the latest magazines, or novels. For these, she had no choice but to personally head out to send the letter and buy some groceries outside of Eastboro. As for Shio, she had already gone out. She wanted to mail a letter to her former rental apartment indicating that Viscount Stratford loyalties lay with the king. She wanted to see if she could drive Charmaine's observer to take certain actions. Seriously, after everything was over, I was so afraid that I nearly forgot to write to teacher. If I had finished it earlier, I could have gotten Shio to do the mailing. Forrest wore a bonnet that had a fishnet, walked down the dark staircase all the way to the bottom, and walked out the condominium. This was in the periphery of the Eastboro, where the technical workers and the low-level managers mainly lived. It was relatively safe and even had paper boys around. As Forge heard chimes from time to time, she walked slowly along the side of the street. At this moment, a postman stopped his bike, took out a stack of newspapers from his bag, and entered a condominium beside her. Forrest casually glanced at it and discovered that the copy at the top was News at Sea. People who live here were actually subscribed to such a newspaper. Their job has something to do with the
Maritime trade. Forrest rejected her gaze as she mumbled in surprise. However, this wasn't something that was worth paying attention to. She quickly walked towards the mailbox when she saw it at the end of the street. The postman entered the condominium and found a new target from the rows of the mailbox, stuffed the corresponding papers into them. Shortly after her letter, a mailbox was opened and the newspapers inside was taken out. The person who retrieved the newspapers walked up to the third story, opened a room, and sat in a simple reclining chair, rocking in it as he read through it. By the side of the reclining chair, there was a black wooden table with a stack of papers placed on it. Some of them were stacked neatly with their front page facing up. Some were bent asymmetrically, revealing the articles. On them were the corresponding reports. Shocking. Crazy adventurer, man fugitive. Crazy adventurer appears again. An incredible hunt. The man closest to the kings at sea. Adventure worth 90,000 pounds. Story of German Sparrow and the three... What the fuck is going on? Story of German Sparrow and the three female pirate admirals. Shooting to the fame in one battle, German Sparrow attempts assassination attempt on Vice Admiral Aileman at night. Shortly after Forrest finished her purchases and returned to her rental carriage, Shio had finished her trip and returned. The reason for their timely return was because it was Monday and it was almost 3 in the afternoon. Gong, gong, gong. That's the 3 in the afternoon bell. Terror Club time? Is it Monday? The nearby cathedral bells resonated. The crimson moon beam of light surged at Forrest and Shio at the same moment. Inside of the majestic palace, by the size of the ancient model table, figures appeared simultaneously taking corporeal form. Like always, just as Audrey stood up first, the seat of honor of the long bronze table courtesied and said, "Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. Miss Justice seems rather down. From the looks of it, the news last night is still affecting her." The Fool Klein nodded indescribably, acknowledged at the Church Club's members' greetings. At this moment, Audrey, who wasn't in a good mood, noticed with her sharp observation skills that there was a bronze cross beside Mr. Fool's right hand. Where did this cross come from to be placed on the table by Mr. Fool? It's an item that's at least the level of a card of blasphemy. Who does it originate from? What use does it have? Like, yeah, we got a new item we can keep up front now. Questions flew through Audrey's mind, making her feel an irresistible sense of curiosity. This was the first time Mr. Fool was placing something in front of him that wasn't a card of blasphemy. Immediately following that, Oliver, Catlia, and the other Terror Club members also noticed a bronze cross that was more eye-catching than a card. Like Miss Justice, you mean... this card that I have off screen? I'm so sorry. You guys actually can't see it. You mean this card? This was the first time Mr. Fool was placing something in front of him that wasn't a card. Immediately following that, Olga Catley and the other Tarot Card members also noticed a bronze cross that was more eye-catching than a card. Like Miss Justice, they couldn't help but guess an item's origins, level, and use. Amongst them, Derek felt a subtle calling from him. He felt the bronze cross drawing him in. I'm sorry, is Derek gonna... Yeah. Well, I mean, he did say it would suit Derek more, but, like, it's calling Derek. He then recalled a basic rule taught in lessons of City of Silver, law of beyond characteristics of convergence. This is a high-level sealed artifact. Oh, my God. I can just imagine Derek saying, "Let there be light." Once he hits sequence 1. He's going to be like, "Let there be light." And he gets to, like, illuminate all of the fucking City of Silver, and then nobody has to worry about being in the shadows because he becomes the sun, right? Since that was his goal. This is going to be sick. Oh, it's going to be good. This is a high-level sealed artifact of the sun pathway. Derek suddenly came to a realization. Forrest is aura farming. He's definitely going to be aura farming. Forrest and Shield recognized the bronze cross to be the sealed artifacts that they had sacrificed. Their pupils dilated as though they were trying to take a better seat. Mr. Fool placed so much importance on this item. It's more important than Shield and I had imagined. Now they're like, "Oh, we fucked up. We should have kept it." Forrest was stunned and couldn't hide her curiosity. When it came to matters involving gods, her thoughts would never develop towards romance. Shield... talking about romance here? Developed towards romance. Shio shared similarities through with Forrest, but she didn't say a word. She believed that Miss Justice would definitely take the initiative to ask. Just as Audrey was deliberating about raising her hand, Catlia closed her eyes, turned her body, and faced the seat of honor. Oh, now she's closing her eyes when she looks at him? Before she bowed and spoke, the full client suddenly chuckled. "Don't worry, the glasses you conjured can seal your eye of mystery prying." Don't worry, the glasses you conjure can seal your eye of mystery prying. He knew very well that Madame Hermit had already become a demigod by taming godhood, turning into a mystologist. This was partly because Catlia, and we have another demigod. This was partly because Catlia had prayed to the full before she held a ritual and consumed a potion, hoping to advance under his watch. This was even if she ultimately failed, she could be blessed and not lose control or go mad. She could always think of expelling the excessive characteristics and redo the attempt. Towards this matter, as the music is really low, that's good, I hear it now. Towards this matter, Klein wasn't too confident about it because he had never attempted it before. Divination also didn't give any answers, but since he had agreed, he believed that if she failed and died, it was definitely all thanks to Mr. Fool. If she were to lose control or go mad, she wouldn't care if Mr. Fool was really a cheat, and Short Klein's main purpose was to give her confidence so that she was in the best conditions for an advancement attempt. After all, Admirals of Stars wasn't able to find other existences to give similar blessings. After witnessing Ma'am Hermit's advancement to a demigod, Klein heaved a sigh of relief while lampooning Edwardly. At times, acting as a god is harder than acting like a human. When believers encounter troubles, there are usually two outcomes of life or death. Their survival is naturally due to the blessings of deities, and no one would care if death occurs. On the other hand, after becoming a demigod and being able to use more of the powers of the mysterious space above the Great Fog, the full Klein could easily see the astral projections of the Terror Club members, thus reading their current beyonder pathways and sequences. After sealing their eyes of mystery prying, Katlia heaved a sigh of relief and reverently said, Mr. Fool, there's one page of Emperor Zo's diary page this time. Emperor Zo's diary, we're going to end on a cliffhanger. I can already see the cliffhanger. Emperor Zo's diary, Queen Mystic is done with her matters, but nothing abnormal happened in Backland. Yes, no one noticed the infiltration of Amon in Backland Strait or the demigod battle in Mayor Manor. The full Klein nodded in an unperturbed manner and said, God, good. I thought I said God. Good. You can think of a question or request. As he spoke, Audrey Alger and company sharply learned something from this conversation. Ma'am Hermit was worried that the glasses she conjured was unable to seal her eye of mystery prying, and that it wasn't a worry she had in the previous gatherings. This means that Ma'am Hermit's eyes of mystery prying has been significantly boosted. Why would there be a sudden boost? She advanced to become a demigod, and they figured it out right here. She's our Terror Club's second demigod. Audrey connected this matter to the Katlia's purchase of the mythical creature's blood and immediately had a guess. She then swept her gaze at the male members opposite to her and realized that Mr. Hankman's seating posture had unknowingly changed. He had apparently figured that Ma'am Hermit had become a demigod. Little Son's gaze was still staring at the bronze cross without any reaction. The moon, Mr. Emlyn, hesitated for a few seconds before looking up at Ma'am Hermit. Mr. Star was like Little Son, his eyes somewhat vacant as though he was waiting for the diary part to pass. He's like, he don't care. He's like, hurry up. Honorable Mr. Full, can this question be accumulated with the next one? Katlia asked. Yeah, she can save her question. Accumulated with the next one. Queen Mystic still doesn't want to have her mood affected. Then why? Oh, she's scared. Then why would she suddenly provide a diary page? Has she forgotten something? To maintain his image of the fool, he didn't ask why and nodded and gently said, sure. Katlia didn't speak further as she conjured the diary page, only to see that it flashed into Mr. Fool's hand. Klein scanned it seemingly casually, taking in most of the information. July 19th, night of the blood moon. Mr. Door's answer allowed me to confirm one thing. In the ancient secret organization, the second blasphemy I saw wasn't complete. In that ancient secret organization, the second blasphemy slate I saw wasn't complete. Okay, man. Am I still supposed to not know anything about these blasphemy slates? Like, what is, like, actually factually known? Because this second blasphemy slate, I don't know shit. We are 1,000+ chapters, and I still can't wrap my head around this second blasphemy slate. Let me do my timestamp before I forget. What? 1 hour, 33, 31? You will know in fucking due time? No shot I will know in due time. You're telling me I'm still not supposed to know what this second blasphemy slate is? Are you kidding me? We know that the potion formulas, like, we know they came from the first slate. Oh, shit. So wait, that implies that the Twilight Hermit Order, it's... it is slates that's blasphemous? You know what? That's pretty good. It's like saying the mysteries of the Lord. I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Martin. That was pretty funny. Yes, the blasphemy slates are technically the slates that are very blasphemous, if you catch my drift. There are 2 blasphemy slates. They hold the secrets of the 9, all of the pathways and potions from 9 to 0. But, like, now there's a second incomplete blasphemy slate. So, like, the Twilight... Oh, man, it's going to be some... Oh, dude, I already know what COI. COI is going to be some Steel Ball Run shit, huh? Fucking Circle of Inevitability is going to be some crazy-ass JoJo Part 7 where we, like, enter this, like, alternate timeline or some crazy shit where, like, this second blasphemy slate gives 22 brand new pathways. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Or like once the second blasphemy slate happens, we redo everything. We like redo like all of the Beyond a World, and then like we bring about like a new world. But like all the it's like we're rewriting all the characters, but like all characters have been like rewritten and they still exist in the world, right? But like they're like in like a new timeline. That's what the second blasphemy slate is. It's trying to bring about like new pathways. That has to be it. That has to be it. That's why all of you guys have been like, oh, I'm writing my own pathways. I remember Milosh talked about in the past, like, oh, I'm writing my own pathways. Like, why would you be doing that? Unless that's something that's already happened before. And maybe that's what the Twilight Hermit Order is trying to do. They're probably just trying to rewrite the pathways, but why? I'll shut up. Point is, this was pretty hype, dude. We finally got the fucking origins, man, of the OCG. Ooh, OTC, my bad. Ooh, that was good, man. Oh, shit. That was hype. So he was wearing like a black classical robe. He had black hair, but he had like blonde highlights, and that's where like Amon and Adam's hair come from. He had the cross, the drop of blood hit it, and my bad. What am I saying? What did I say before? Ancient Sun God? What the fuck did I just say right now? TCG? Was I saying True Creator? My bad. Ancient Sun God. Did I say I said TCG. I said True Creator. My bad. Ancient Sun God. And then that's where the whole thing was fucking Let There Be Light. OCG, TCG. How am I mixing up these abbreviations? I'm mixing up the abbreviations. I apologize. But that was hype. And then he's like, once the fucking blood drop hit it on the cross, he's like, Let There Be Light. Oh. It's going to be so hype when fucking Derek does the same shit and he says, Let There Be Light. Oh, it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be so good. Because you know why I know it's going to be good? We're 73.49% done with Lord of the Mysteries. That's hype. That is awesome. We are literally fucking almost 3/4 done with this series. That's amazing, man. But tomorrow we will resume with 1,036. So I hope to see you all soon. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Peace. And don't be too mean to our beautiful new intro from the missus. If we're too mean, she's not gonna want to do another intro. Remember, be nice and positive, and she'll do another intro. And eventually she'll be comfortable showing herself on face. Remember to check. I lied. We can't do our outro. What am I doing? Oh my god, I forgot to look at the artwork after I told Milosh I wouldn't forget. Thank you. Let's look at that first. Oh, hell yeah. Let there fucking be light. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Let's switch. Blonde roots, black ends, if I remember correctly. Machinations, machinations. Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. Let's look at this badass artwork. Let there be light. There's no bunny suit outfits, right, Milosh? Like the Ouroboros one? Damn. Let there be light. What the? Look at the cane he's holding. Oh, shit. Damn, that's fucking hype, dude. Black hair with blonde highlights. I see it. Damn. Damn, he's holy as fuck. Oh, this is Ouroboros. Ouroboros is looking at him. Oh, that is sick. That is badass, dude. Oh, that is sick. Oh, that is so fucking cool. Oh, shit, look at him wearing the cross. That's bad. I think this one is my favorite. This one is fucking cool. It's like shattered, the statue. Oh, man. And then this is like Amon, like just resting at his dad's marble statue, trying to figure out who he was this whole time. There's also one above. There's one above. Oh, look at the forest one. That one's cute. Was there another one? So we had a wedding. Wait, this was Shadow Slave. This one was really cool, by the way. Okay. Damn, that's badass. What is this? Choose a symbol you wish to represent the special occasion. That's cool. Damn, that's fucking tight. All right, man. You guys have a beautiful, loving day. Wait. Wrong one. You guys have a beautiful, amazing day. I'm going to see you guys all tomorrow, same time. Yeah, we're looking at the wedding pictures. If I finish all my errands, hit the gym, I do everything correctly, I might come back and just play Gears of War
here. But the thing is, I probably won't talk. The mic is gonna be off because I'm gonna hook up the HDMI cable. That way I can at least stream it live. But there probably won't be audio, so it'll probably just be like a silent stream. So rather than like recording it and uploading it, I just get to be live and then it's already uploaded and it renders. But I think that's what I might do. But that's if I get everything finished, because I have to be asleep in 4 hours. So we'll see if we can finish all of that in 4 hours. Peace. Have a beautiful day, and I'm gonna see all you lovely individuals tomorrow for more peak Lord of the Mysteries. And remember, don't be too harsh. Don't be too harsh on the missus, or she might not do intros with us again. I'm trying to convince her to do my makeup live on stream for the episode 11 react. So hopefully that works. Peace. I'm gonna see you guys all very soon. Later, guys.